A survey by Auto Pacific shows 43% of auto buyers want autonomous features, including lane change assist, rear cross traffic alerts with emergency braking, and hands-free driving. The demand for those features up from less than a quarter of auto buyers just a year ago who wanted the same features. North Dakota joins 8 other states with speed limits of 80 miles per hour or higher. The state increasing speed limits from 75 to 80 on its many long, straight stretches of highway. Other states with 80-mile-per-hour roads include Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Utah, Wyoming, and Texas, though Texas also has a few stretches of roads where drivers can legally do 85. That's Fox Wheels. I'm Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Dealing with crime in the district. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. President Trump says he plans to put D.C. police under federal control and deploy the National Guard to fight crime in the nation's capital. Speaking today at the White House, the president explained other cities will be watching to see how he cleans up Washington and how he hopes they'll learn their lesson from his attempts to stop crime in D.C.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged-out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it.
The president said he'd look in New York City and Chicago after Washington. Many states have eliminated cash bail, arguing it discriminates against poorer defendants and actually does not improve public safety. President Trump also measuring expectations for his meeting with Russia's president later this week. Here's Fox's Jared Halpern with more from the White House.
When the two leaders meet in Alaska on Friday, President Trump says he'll tell Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine.
This is really a feel-out meeting, a little bit.
President Trump concedes he's been disappointed by Putin in the past.
I'm going to go and see the parameters. Now, I may leave and say, good luck, and that'll be the end. I may say this is not going to be settled.
The president says he'll hold calls with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders following his meeting with Putin. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
We've learned that the transcripts of the secret grand jury testimony that led to the sex trafficking indictment of Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, not going to be released. The judge made the ruling today, saying the government's suggestion they'd reveal new information about the crimes was demonstrably false. Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer saying in a written decision, the government had proposed releasing grand jury materials casually or promiscuously, jeopardizing the tradition of grand jury secrecy that protects the confidence of those called to testify before future grand juries. America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick with his sports raconteur extraordinaire, the mechanical mangler at the controls. It's Flounder, and it's Monday. It got sunny all of a sudden. Man, after a flood coming in here today, holy smokes. Anyway, look out, here we go. Happy start of the week for you. Beautiful, hot, sunny day here at the Battery. And the trio is all here. Flounder's back from his 4-day birthday hot weekend with the missus, vacation stuff. And first, Pete Davis in the mountains of Macon. What's new and how's the weekend? Well, a lot of sports, a lot of football stuff in the weekend, too, and Brave stuff, too. Good, big weekend.
That's, too. It's a great sports weekend, not only on the professional field, but also on the personal field. Met some fine people and won the Olympics again yesterday.
Oh, now this is the Olympics of the of where you throw inner tubes or something, or the mountain women are up there doing mountain events or something, or...
There was some shooting involved. Nerf guns, mainly.
Oh.
Yeah. The bowling. There's bowling involved.
Actual bowling?
Bowling. And something called bolo golf. You ever done that?
Bolo golf. No, I mean frisbee golf?
No, you know bolos, it's like that Argentinian
the
weapon.
two things on the stick, the two round balls and connected with a rope.
Two balls with a rope.
They were natives use them for hunting stuff. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, oh my God, you did that?
You swing it, and there's three little lines, and you try and wrap it around one of those lines, and you get points for every one that you do.
That's
and
cool.
It's not as easy as it looks, because I'm not used to holding two balls in one hand.
Oh, hey, hi-yo. Well, that's what she said. Ho, ba, ha, hey, wow. Aha. When he started telling you about 4 or 8, that's a whole different situation there. So, and by the way,
you know that.
You know what else? In fact, I'm going to take a little a tangent thing off to the side here. I just had a very funny, happy, and sort of a weird, embarrassing memory back when I was retired and I wanted to be a cowboy, and I had Jack the Good Boy, my great big horse. But I also had, for a couple of years, I had a rodeo horse now called Shooter. And he was he was an Indian, full-grown, full-blooded paint horse. Black, solid black with a teeny little white thing. Anyway, and he was a rodeo horse. And so the guy at the stable where I got Jack the Good Boy, the girl who owned it had a boyfriend who was a real rodeo cowboy. He was a roper. He was a national champion roper. And he and his buddy, the two, they would rope the head of the cow, and then the other guy would come in and rope the back feet, stuff like that. So he said, have you ever done any roping? I said, no, so I tried roping. Ropers, if you ever watch rodeos, when they're roping, it's not a rope. It's plastic. Those ropes are made of fiberglass or something, and they're hard as a rock, and they're very hard to work. And I'm telling you, if you could put like a stump, 15 feet away from you, a stick or a post or something, and you could swirl that plastic fiberglass rope around your head and try to whirl it over that thing, and I'm telling you, it's very difficult to maneuver that stuff. It's real. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it looked like an idiot. It's very, very hard to do. And again, the ropes you have, cowboy ropes are not rope. They're not rope. They're plastic or fiberglass or something, and they're hard as a rock and very hard to maneuver. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted there.
Do you ever one of those moments where you think you've said the coolest thing ever, and someone puts you in your place?
It didn't come out right. Yeah, I know. I see in my head. That was supposed to be. Never mind. Well, that was my rodeo horse Shooter that I actually punched cows on one time. Chasing loose cows and stuff. And I did some barrel racing on him, too. Sorry.
There was one point during the Nerf gun thing that I shot several shots, and then I turned to the crowd and said, I guess I know what you're wondering. Did I shoot 5 rounds or did I shoot 6?
4, 6, yeah.
And a voice from the peanut gallery said, you've only shot 4.
That's not the answer, mister. Do you feel lunky, punk? Come on, let's get the line right. My God, man, everybody knows that movie. Well, do you? Punk. Oh, mercy. And Flounder, your beach weekend, the weather survived? Or how?
Yeah, it was really nice. It rained a little bit, but not more than 15, 20 minutes, and then we were back on the beach. So it was relaxing and nice. Weather was really good.
Right? You were in Florida?
Yes, Flagler Beach, right? Probably 20 minutes from St. Augustine.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. I did a lot of body surfing. It was fun. The waves were big, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, excellent. In fact, today's weather, when I was coming in today, it was a little sprinkly in Alpharetta, and then I take the back roads and I come through, we go down there. And about halfway through, it was a deluge. It was a pounding rain. And when I turned on from Lower Roswell to Roswell Road onto Terrell Mill, the rain was so hard. All the cars, in fact, pretty much everybody had their lights on, which is rare. Around here, nobody runs with their lights on in your basic rainstorm. This was pounding rain. It wasn't stormy. It was just horrible pounding rain. And it was bad because people had their lights on. And secondly, about every 50 yards, the cars would go in whoosh into these big puddles on Terrell Mill Road. I mean, it was almost places where it was almost shut down. I mean, it was flooding. It was a lot. I mean, I couldn't believe it and then I got close to the Battery and Terrell Mill, where you turn on to Powers Ferry, It was fine. Little sprinklers and everything was, but I couldn't believe it. Just that one stretch there, and it reminded me of Florida. Florida weather in the summertime, where I was in South Florida, PGA National, Palm Beach County. Every single day, man, in the afternoon, it's storm pounds, rainstorm like this, and the weather's lashing. I mean, it's really unbelievable, man, in South Florida. And this is what reminded me. And right now, as I speak, it's a beautiful sunny day. Calm, beautiful, gorgeous. So here we are. Anyway, I thought it was kind of bizarre. It reminded me of Florida, and Flounder was just down there, and I'm glad you had a nice trip. All right, here's it's a Monday, and we're going to play a little music here. We're going to do kind of a tribute to a sad ending. And by the way, since I've been working with you guys, and with Pete, for over like 25 or whatever years, I've learned a lot more about music that I have always either known or enjoyed, but didn't know anything about. At all. 3-1. What's that? 31 years? 31 years. Yeah, that's a long time. That's right. Or more, actually. It's that. Well, yeah, that's about right. Anyway, and so that's coming up, too. Well, hell, it was before that. Was it 91?
I started doing sports on your show in 94.
In 94. We worked together. We were there in 91 or 92, whatever back there. But we did start doing his sports on my show. Anyway, 310-404-741-1230, 741-1230. And I just thought what the hell I was going to tell you about here with something. And well, let's do this. Donald Trump. Well, God, wait, Donald Trump did it again. You're going to hear some sound bites from his news conference. The guy he's a talk show host. I've never seen anything like this. Here's a world leader who just goes live with everything. And he did it for like an hour and a half. And he just, he's a talk show host. And he's settling problems and making decisions. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's just one thing after another. He's nonstop. It's incredible. And we'll get to that. And also Janine Pirro. And I have to say, I have to change my mind about her because I was thinking one way and now I'm thinking a little totally different between what she's on Fox and what she's doing now. But first of all, a sad day in the music industry, and if you are a fan of a certain age of music, you'll know this as well. Bobby Whitlock has passed away. He was 77 years old, had a brief bout with cancer. Doesn't say what kind, and I don't know, but obviously it was fast acting. Brief bout with cancer, had just passed away, 77. Bobby Whitlock was co-founder of Derek and the Dominoes. And as it says here, they put it this way, the legendary rock icon whose fingerprints are all over 3 of rock's most celebrated albums, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, All Things Must Pass, and Exile on Main Street. He took his last, surrounded by loved ones, took his last breath. His wife said, how do you express in a few words the greatness and grandness of one man who came from abject poverty in the South to heights unimagined in such a short time? He was a teenager, recorded with Sam and Dave, Booker T and the MGs. He was the first white artist signed to the storied Stax Records. His big break came in 1969. He joined Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, made connections with Eric Clapton, George Harrison, with Friends on the Road. That was the name of their group, Delaney and Bonnie and Friends. Their relationships led to Whitlock and Clapton contributing to Harrison's album of All Things Must Pass and the formation of Derek and the Dominoes. They recorded Layla, Other Assorted Love Songs, a record that would become a cornerstone of rock history. Whitlock co-wrote half the album's tracks. He's in the Memphis Beale Street Walk of Fame. Bobby Whitlock passed away at 77.
If you love news and talk, you have to connect with the biggest personalities in the South at thepodcastpark.com. It's more original Atlanta content from Atlanta's hometown talk crew. From legal news to sports and politics, and even archives of interviews from years past. Find the podcast that you love and subscribe everywhere you get podcasts.
Join Daniel Madelon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guests are former APD Chief Bryant and Natalie Ammons from the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not meet us than meet us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Steel. Summer's heating up, and so should your lawn game. Turn your yard into a summer paradise with powerful, reliable tools from Steel at Howard Brothers. Whether it's cutting, trimming, or edging, Steel's top quality equipment is built to perform and made to last. Let the trusted team at Howard Brothers help you tackle your to-do list and make your yard the envy of the neighborhood this summer. Find one near you at howardbrothers.com. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Steel and Howard Brothers.
You upgrade your phone, you upgrade your wardrobe, even your lawn. So why not upgrade the part of your home that actually protects your family? Southern Exteriors specializes in roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and they're making it easier than ever before with 10% off any job or 12 months of 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug, and I know the folks at Southern Exteriors. They show up, they do it right, and they stand behind their work. Call them today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine for over 20 years. We bring the best of our community directly to your mailbox, like the one-stop, open-air shopping destination, the Avenue West Cobb.
I'm Danny, marketing manager at the Avenue West Cobb. We provide the community a safe, walkable area with a unique mix of national retailers, local boutiques, and delicious dining options. And in addition to the incredible shopping, it's a community hub with events all year long. Mark your calendar for our most beloved events: trick-or-treating with our tenants, Santa's workshop, and our annual Christmas concert completed by our magical Christmas tree lighting. Follow us on social media at the Av West Cobb for family-friendly events all year long.
Thanks, Danny. My family and I love the Avenues. And friends, you will too. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Ba-da-da. How's it going? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete and Flounder and 319. Happy Monday. How's it going? How was your weekend? What's going on? We've got a lot of things to talk about. 404-741-1230, 1230. If you want to join us. David Bowie, 2022, was named Britain's most influential artist of the past 50 years. I'll say that again. David Bowie, Britain's most influential artist of the past 50 years, in the Sky Arts list for his ability to transcend music, film, and fashion. Other musicians in the list of the most influential artists of 50 years, the Spice Girls, Sir Elton John, Stormzy, and Boy George. Most influential the last 50 years.
Right. Yeah. The Beatles changed the world, but yeah, it's the Spice Girls. Right on, boys.
You know, the Beatles really did change.
They changed the world.
Yeah, they really did. And they changed it a couple of times. They changed it with their, I love you, do you love me, and yeah. And then again when they went sitiring and to the transcendental stuff, and then the whole new thing and the Lennon. I mean, oh my God, the Beatles were a whole thing.
A cultural revolution.
Yeah, it really was.
Please, I mean, Bowie was very influential. But come on,
yeah, but that's a niche. I can't. I've never listened deliberately to a Bowie record. I mean, I just Bowie. I can't. I never, nor will I ever. I mean, the Beatles. Everybody has some experience with the Beatles, or at some point for whatever reason. But Bowie, those guys are a special-ish thing that doesn't apply to most of us.
Yeah, talk about Bobby Whitworth. He not only All Things Must Pass with George Harrison, but the Exile on Main Street, some consider the Stones' best album. He was on that too. Amazing.
And again, since he was a teenager, which is pretty special. Anyway, our birthday list here today, Anna Gunn is 57. Walter White's wife, Skyler, on Breaking Bad. We did not like Skyler on Breaking Bad. I think she wasn't. I just didn't like her. She was a cheat, for one thing, and didn't appreciate the man was willing to do anything to take care of his family. He did bad stuff. I mean, all right.
He provided.
All right, we don't want to label out the whole, but I didn't like her. I didn't like her attitude, and she was a cheat. Anna Gunn. Now, I'm sure in human, she's a wonderful. I'm sure she's a wonderful lady and a fine actress. I just didn't like her character, and that's all I'm saying. She was also Seth's wife, Martha Bullock, on Deadwood.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't like her in that either. She was the mother of the boy it was his brother's wife that was widowed, and so he married her to be because that's what happened back then.
Yeah. In fact, I've got about 8 episodes of Deadwood on my museum television thing, and I should say I need to go back and watch them because a lot of them I missed entirely, and I think I missed a lot of it for some reason.
Oh my God! The first 2 seasons, some of the best television ever made.
Yeah. Anna Gunn is 57 years old today. Hold on a second. And on this day in history, well, we're going to have a little fun here off and on with this today. Apparently a little misinformed on astronomical data. U.S. Vice President Dan Quayle on this day in 1989 said, Mars is essentially in the same orbit. Mars is somewhat the same distance from the sun, which is very important. We have seen pictures where there are canals, we believe, and water. If there's water, that means there's oxygen, and that means we can breathe. Dan Quayle went on to say, I love California. I practically grew up in Phoenix. I swear I remember when he said that. I love California. I practically grew up in Phoenix. The global importance of the Middle East is that it keeps the Far East and the Near East from encroaching on each other. Vice President of the United States said that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not making that up. Anyway, and there's even more. I'll make a few as we go along here. Okay. 323. Kimmer Payton Flounder. Happy Monday. Donald Trump. Honestly, God, I've never seen anything like this, man. It's incredible. He had another news conference today, lasted for like an hour and a half, and he just takes questions. And by the way, I was still home when he started this, like 10 o'clock this morning, whatever. And he even made the mention when he got to the podium, and they were waiting for him, and he comes to the podium, and he looks around and he says, I have never seen this many people in this room ever in my life, and no one ever has. There were more. They showed a shot of the press room, and there must have been 1,000 people in there. I mean, they were shoulder to shoulder, wedged in like sardines. I've never Flounder. I think you saw part of it too. It was the damnedest thing.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. If Trump even said, "We're going to have to get that ballroom. We're going to have to start doing this in the ballroom." And by the way, they're still criticizing him, saying wasted taxpayers' money. A suspected child molester, Schumer's still saying, and he's paying that for himself. Anyway, huge crowd of press people. And Donald Trump has taken on the metropolitan D.C., Washington, D.C. situation without crime. He's deploying the National Guard. He's taking control of the Metro Police. And he's going to be criticized for this. He's going to be sued and challenged for this. But here's Donald Trump. Play cut number 1 here, Flounder, with Donald Trump announcing what he's doing today in Washington, D.C. Cut number 1, right here.
This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before.
He's operationally employing the National Guard. More troops will be employed down the line. You'll see FBI agents are going to be spreading out, trying to see what they can do about it. And by the way, I heard Glenn Beck talking. We're going to play gun number 5 here in a second, Flounder, too. I heard Glenn Beck talking about this, and he quoted some guy, a legal expert, who was saying, or maybe he was just reading the law. Apparently, the law that gives jurisdiction authority to who controls Washington, D.C., says the president in an emergency can take control of the local police departments for 48 hours. So I don't know whether, now I didn't hear anybody mention that in his news conference. And again, there's going to be a reaction all afternoon as it comes in. We'll obviously pass it along. But again, he's taking control. And one of the reasons is that there were... If you compare the murder rate in Washington, D.C. with other capitals of other countries, again, Washington's our capital of America, of the United States. So if you compare our murder rate of our country's capital with the capital of France, the capital of Britain, the capital of pretty much, including the capital of pretty much all the South American countries, we have in Washington, D.C., a murder rate which is 300% higher than Mexico City, London, and Paris. The number of car thefts in Washington has doubled. The number of car hijackings in Washington has tripled. And Janine Pirro, for one, cut number 5, Flounder, says she's not letting the young punks get away with it anymore.
I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest, intent to kill, I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the D.C. Council and their absurd laws. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens, and it starts today.
If you're 14, 15, 16, or 17 and have a gun, I can't do anything about it. And by the way, I will say this. The last several times, and I used to watch a lot, but since I've been working, I'm on till 6. I don't get to watch the 5. But Janine Pirro's been on the 5 for a very long time. And I remember even over the last 6 or 8 months or so saying to myself, every time she was on the 5 and it would be her turn to talk to it, to address a topic or something, she had to continuously look at her notes She seemed completely ill at ease. She was uncomfortable. She had to totally look at her notes and kind of lost her place a little bit. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, the woman's getting up there in age. And then all of a sudden, Trump made her the U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. Right? I'm going, holy smokes! But she's proven. Apparently, she's pretty tough on the ball and still sharp as a tack. And maybe it was just her TV performance that I thought was kind of lacking. But again, I give her all the credit in the world. And this is not a young woman either. I mean, she's been doing this for a long time. Another quick thing here about Donald Trump. He made this point over the weekend too. When a president is elected, he had the appointments that have to go through the Senate, obviously for the members of the cabinet, things like that, and the FBI director stuff is one thing. But presidents also have to nominate, to be confirmed, hundreds of people to run departments and cabinet secretary things and positions to take care of running the job of the government. And when the civilian appointments, when they come before the Senate always calls for a voice vote, and they're confirmed pretty much unanimously, and then you move on to the next one. The whole thing takes about 30 seconds. Under Bill Clinton, when he was president and he had to confirm his civilian appointments, Bill Clinton got 98% of the time. They said, aye, all in favor, unanimous confirmation. 98% of the time. When Barack Hussein Puditat was president and he wanted his civilian appointments, they approved him 90% of the time unanimously, no problem, no delays, nothing else. Donald Trump's first presidential term, civilian appointments, when instead of getting unanimous approval, he only got 60% approval. The rest of them they dragged out because they can demand an investigation and a singular voice vote to count every single person is there, and it takes forever. And that's why they don't get them done. That was Donald Trump's first term. They only appointed 60% compared to Clinton's 98 and Puditat's 90. This time in Donald Trump's administration, they have appointed and cleared zero. The Democrats are deliberately trying to stall and delay, just like they did with every decision he's made so far, by going to court. And now what they're doing in the United States Congress is saying, well, we're going to drag this out, and not one time. Now, they've been approved, but it takes forever. So instead of approving all those people in the court systems and all these things to run the government, they're delaying everything. And so it takes hours to get one guy going instead of the hundreds that need to be done immediately. And they're doing it on purpose. Again, this is what the Democrats are doing to hurt America. The Trump hatred is long from over. The swamp is as deep as ever. Anyway, coming up 3:31. And the hatred, holy cow. Anyway, we'll have a little fun, too. We got Pete's Tweets. We got Flounders Funnies. We got Holy Crap in Sport. In fact, we'll do a little sports talk coming up because a couple of things in sports. The Pro for Catch, holy smokes. One of the best I've ever seen.
Profar.
Profar. I put Profer. I don't know. About Profer and offer, and I'll be fine. All right, look out. 3:32. We're late. All right, look out.
Braves baseball is always on the Fan and streaming on the Fan app.
Bounce up the middle, might get through. It does! Rattle around third. Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win!
The Fan streams every single Braves game all season totally free on the 680 The Fan app, on your smart speaker, and online at 680thefan.com. So don't miss a pitch.
You come at the Kings, you better not miss.
Grab the all-new Fan app now for Apple or Android.
How about that downpour as I was coming to work today? Holy smokes. And by the way, that tells you whether your windows are leaking, and if they are, peach-stayed windows. Now, I know Jeff, and in fact, I know them 25 years ago, started working with them. His wife used to call my goofy husband Jeff. But boy, they know how to do this stuff for your home. Peach-stayed windows and so much more. The windows are all the special double hung with the #1 energy saving, whatever those things are, that they're all the best stuff. And by the way, they also siding, they specialize in siding. I like the Hardy Plank myself. That was for me. But they'll take care of what you're looking for your home. 0% financing for 12 months. Check it out. 770-485-8011. PeachStateWindows.com.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these 2 guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
I like the Go-Go's. I mean, there's a couple of songs anyway. A little too punky for me, really, but I didn't know that until people told me. Look out. The beat. They got to move around to this one. 2011, the Go-Go's received the 2,444th Walk of Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Located where the legendary punk club The Mask used to be, Go-Go's frequently played the club in their early years. The Go-Go's rose to fame in the early 80s, were the first and to date the only all-female band that both wrote their own songs and played their own instruments to top the Billboard album charts. In fact, I think, Pete, you might have told me, maybe it was Flounder, one of you guys had mentioned that they decided to play their own instruments. They didn't want to just sing there and, have a tambourine banging on their hip or something. And I forgot, someone had mentioned that to me some time ago, and I had no idea that was the first all-girl band that played their own stuff.
Well, the Bengals were up there as well, but I think they were after them, after the Go-Go's.
Yeah, but
the Go-Go's were a punk band before they went pop.
And that's the thing. I didn't know that. I never knew that. And then I think when first time I ever saw their picture, I went, "Oh my God,
pure punk."
No, well, wait a minute. That's not the same group. I mean, I thought it was like the Mamas and the Papas. Seriously. No, not by a long.
That Belinda Carlisle, she was kind of,
Yeah. She got a little thing going there for her. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Hold on a minute. I got a thing over here with a thing. There we go. Our birthday list. I love the way it says this about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is 58 today. And here's what the guy who wrote this says about Joe Rogan. Controversial comedian whose podcast cost Spotify users access to Neil Young and Joni Mitchell music. That's how you describe Joe Rogan? And said he cost you people access to Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Oh, my God. Joe Rogan, 58. I think that's a pretty interesting way to put it. And before we go into how people hate America these days again, and again, I just, fine, speak out all you want because as far as I'm concerned, we need to know where you stand. On this day in history, hip-hop is born at a teen party in the Bronx, 1973. The teens were in a rec room of an apartment in the West Bronx. Hip-hop roots and other forms, evolution shaped by different artists, but the guy in Sedgwick Avenue who presided over the party was the brother named Clive Campbell, better known to history as DJ Kool Herc, founding father of hip-hop. He was doing record sets when his father's band played in the Bronx in the early 70s. And again, I'm going to use the words here to describe how hip-hop was started and the terms they used in it. Herc often emulated the style of Jamaican selectors or DJs by toasting over the records, talking over the records, called toasting. His historical significance has nothing to do with rapping, though. It's even more. His signature invention came from how the crowds would react to different parts of whatever record he happened to be playing. They'd wait for particular parts of the record to dance, maybe do their specialty move. It occurred at the drum breaks, the moments in a record when the vocals and instruments would drop out completely for a measure or two of pure rhythm. Kool Herc said he was going to use two turntables in a typical DJ setup, not as a way to make a smooth transition between two records, but as a way to switch back and forth repeatedly between two copies of the same record, extending the short drum break the crowd most wanted to hear. He called his trick the merry-go-round. It's known as the break beat. He refined his breakbeat style for a sister's party in August, put him before the biggest crowd ever. Success of that party began a grassroots musical revolution 6 years before the term hip-hop even entered vocabulary. He did, the scratching and the junk stuff, and that's where hip-hop formed in the Bronx with this guy. All right, 341, Kimmer Pete Flounder, how's it going? 404-741-1230. If you ought to join some beautiful... Oh, a couple quick sports things. Pete Davis, we got Holy Crap of Sports coming up after 5, but in the meantime, as kind of a tease, holy cow, what a weekend. My God. A couple things. Do you have any a reaction to the new quarterbacks in the NFL playing spring season games? Or I'm sorry, fall season games, whatever we call it now.
I'm already over hearing about Shadur Sanders leading a touchdown. Woohoo.
I thought he looked great.
Touchdown.
But I thought he looked great.
Enough. He's with the Cleveland Browns. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to win anything for a while. He's not that good. He's better than probably 2 or 3 of the other ones they have on their roster, but he's not that good.
Well, see, now to me, again, my original thought was, holy cow, he looks great. I mean, those passes had to be just right. I mean, they're over one guy
and
under.
He has to be perfect.
It was perfect.
His arm isn't strong enough for him not to be.
Okay, well, now the other thing I wondered whether, because, this is preseason, and so the defenders are not going to be, the starting defensive linemen, so they're not going to be rushing the court. I mean, so again, now you have to take it into consideration. But my overall impression was he looked pretty damn good. I mean, I was pretty impressed.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, it is. Now, Carson Bennett. From formerly Georgia, then whatever they say.
Who?
I know, but they say he scored
Carson
a couple of touchdowns. Back. Carson Beck. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know. That's how much I know.
Where did you see Carson Beck play?
I didn't see him play. I heard about him, and they said they were talking about him all over the place in sports, saying he played great. But it's like for L.A. or Nevada or somebody.
He plays for the Miami Hurricanes. He's in college.
Well, no. Well, Stetson Bennett. Who's Stetson Bennett?
Stetson Bennett.
Well, now kiss my ass. You made me say Beck. You bastards, both of you. I was talking about Bennett, and you made me talk about Beck, and that wasn't even the guy. You dirty bastards. You did it again. Stetson Bennett. Now, he apparently had a really good day, a good outing.
Well, good for him. It's about time. It's good for him. I hope he's got all the skeletons behind him and he's ready to go and play pro football. Matthew Stafford's injured, so this is a chance.
Well, we'll see. And just another quick thing. one of the greatest catches, snagging out of the air. I mean, your comments, your thoughts, and what we hear about a little later on this afternoon.
We have been giving Jurickson Profar trouble. He was missing some balls out there in left field. Wasn't looking all that great out there. And then he makes a catch that even Michael Harris II stood there and applauded.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. In fact, Michael said out of 1 to 10, it was 100.
Yeah.
That's how great that catch. One of the greatest catches you will ever see. You talk about athleticism.
Yeah. He had to.
Amazing.
He snagged it. I mean, it wasn't like he followed the ball into his glove. He was twisting and turning, almost doing a somersault over a fence, grabbing and snagging it out of the air. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, and by the way, there were a couple of great. I saw some highlights, Sports Center highlights, and there were a couple of really super catches too. I mean, I love to see big leaguers making great play. Anyway, and the Braves, had a pretty good weekend. All in all,
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
What do you think about the female ump?
Well, okay. I think she did everything right. I don't think there was any. Well, I don't know. I watched part of it, but I don't like it. I didn't like her.
Why?
I don't know.
If she can do the job, why does it matter?
It shouldn't matter. I'm sorry. I know
it's not that athletic a job at baseball.
No.
It's not like she's running up and down like a soccer ref or something.
I know. Sorry. I mean, I know it's not. No.
Did you see the first pitch she called behind the plate yesterday? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
It was half a foot inside, and she called it a strike. And the poor Marlins guy just turned around,
turned back.
He looked at his manager and walked away. He knew he couldn't say anything.
Hey, we're going to talk about the girl ump, are you?
She would hold it against him the rest of his life if he had said anything to him. And it was literally that far off the plate.
Let's see, it was good 4 or 5 inches.
Now the rest of the game she did okay.
Yeah, and
one.
Yeah, and she knew the rules. I mean, she knew about.
Is that gonna be an issue with the players arguing calls with her?
I don't think.
I mean, at some point, because I mean, if you watch them argue with refs, they throw F. I mean, yeah,
that's right.
So can you do that with a female?
Well,
absolutely.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? By a third or fourth inning, the Marlins manager was barking at her, which is okay. We're going to treat you just like everybody else.
That's
He was
right.
barking at her.
Yeah. You better do the same thing to her that you did to any other ump in there, or it's not right.
And she's shorter. Did you notice how short she was behind home plate? Some people might say, well, she's too short to look over there. I don't know if she's the shortest ump they have going right now, but she looks small behind there. Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that really might actually help her for some of the that level of. I don't know. I've never been. I was a softball umpire once as a kid.
Bingo card. Anyone have that one?
Softball.
I was. That was incredible. My mother and her neighbor friends volunteered to coach a girls' softball team, and I was probably 15 or 16 maybe, and still living at home. And in the summertime or whatever, and they asked me to umpire, and I did, and they hated me.
You're out of here.
They hated me. But I mean, that's harder than especially softball, because it comes in and it drops down over, and how are you supposed to figure that out?
Yeah, the ball's only this big as your head. Yeah, it's hard to track. I can see why. It's going 20 miles an hour.
It's the downwards when it comes down. I mean, did that cross the plate before it was over their head? I mean, Anyway,
it's not a 98 mile per hour baseball slider coming in, moving.
All right. Well, 347. My days as an ump were very limited. Kimmer Pete Flowers, Monday. Give me a break. Look out.
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee you each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1, or visit honestcarguy.com. HCIS.com.
In retirement, the right balance of risk and safety isn't just smart, it's essential for lasting peace of mind. Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler, knows that. With more, here's Coach Pete.
Yeah, I mean, if you can have both, why wouldn't you want to? And if it's just about making sure you fill the right paperwork in and not trapped in something you shouldn't be in or going down the wrong path. If you're dealing with an advisor, folks, who's pushing all risk all the time, ask them if they're licensed in safe alternatives. Point blank ask them and get them to put that in writing. We've seen several folks out there who are slamming the safe world because they're not licensed. All they're doing is pushing all risk all the time. That is not a successful retirement. Well, I'll debate anyone on that in a public setting, if so, because there's no way you can call yourself a fiduciary if you don't have risk and safety available for your clients at all times. If you're reaching into your client's money and taking money out, and that's the only way you make money, the client's the one that suffers.
For a comprehensive and complimentary retirement review, call Craig Chandler, Chandler Wealth Management, 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
You protect your physical health by choosing your doctors carefully. Protect your financial health by choosing an attorney carefully. An accident can be very costly. You want to receive the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law. My friend David Van Sant will take care of you, trust me, very well. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. The website is vansantlaw.com. In the event of an accident, it could be the most important phone call you make.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
That's right, baby. Keeping it crunk. Give her Pete and Flounder what it is. I didn't say anything. My home, my shawty. 1989, 3 members of the LL Cool J crew were arrested and charged with raping a 15-year-old girl. It happened at a concert. After the music was over, the girl had won a backstage pass on a radio show contest. And they apparently raped her. God. So they didn't get set on fire as a result or something? Are they still not in jail? Anyway, whatever. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Steve Wozniak, 75 years old, one of the guys who figured out Apple as a company. Didn't he? He and the guys did that in his garage, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. Wasn't Gates who did it in his garage? Or maybe both of them.
I think pretty much. Now, Wozniak is he the one who owns all the sports franchises in Seattle and Portland and that stuff, or is that another one?
I can't remember if it's him or if it's the other guy.
I think it's the other guy. Anyway. Let's see. Kevin Pete and Flounder. On this day in history, this is a huge day in the movie world, 1973, and it made a lot of things happen for some very important people. 1973. The nostalgic teenage coming-of-age movie American Graffiti, written and co-written and directed by George Lucas, opens in theaters 1973. 5 Academy Award nominations, Best Director, Best Picture. It launched the careers of Richard Dreyfuss and Harrison Ford, as well as former child actor Opie Ron Howard as an Oscar-winning filmmaker. It enabled George Lucas to get his next movie made, the mega hit Star Wars, 4 years later in 1977. Lucas went to film school at University of Southern California. Is that where you went to film school? Pete, where'd you go to film? Didn't you go to film school?
I ended up at Georgia State Film School, which was small at the time. Now it's pretty much state of the art. It's great. I was going to go back to UCLA, USC, but I just never went to radio instead.
Yeah. Lucas's next movie was American Graffiti, after a little kind of a science thing he did early in 71. Let's see. One of the producers was Francis Ford Coppola, who a year earlier emerged from relative obscurity to direct The Godfather. Lucas, by the way, nominated also for American Graffiti screenplay. He made the Space Odyssey Star Wars broke box office records, a new wave of filmmaking. The film nominated for 10 Academy Awards, won a whole bunch of them. And then later he did the Raiders of the Lost Ark, directed by Steven Spielberg, and starred Harrison Ford, who Lucas directed in the 3 Star Wars films as well. And Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, became a successful multi-film franchise. And those, remember Richard Dreyfuss and Opie. I mean, what a time. Caribbean founder, 354. Here we go. The haters of America. And again, you just want to throw water on them. There's a Chinese girl at UCLA who gave a speech at graduation that's just now making the rounds of social media. Her name is Jamie Han. She's Chinese, and she had a fiery speech condemning ICE and Donald Trump, drawing intense harassment and deportation demands from right-wing social media, but applause and cheers from the students and professors at UCLA. Here is part of the speech from Jamie Han, a UCLA student and immigrant as well. Founder number 3.
Excuse my language, but to that I say f*** ICE and f*** the Trump administration.
Yeah. The clip drew backlash from right-wing social media users targeting her with harassment and racial... Well, of course they're going to react to it. I hate the people who write things like this. They're saying, go back to China, deport her right now. She said, valedictorian, screw ICE and screw Trump by the F word. What does she want? Foreign criminals terrorizing American cities, breaking our laws? Pull their funding. She has a right to free speech, but certain things aren't appropriate for the circumstances. She represents the institution. What a disgrace. She should be ashamed. Her parents should be ashamed. Her school should be ashamed. Look at how the dean and the faculty behind her applaud vigorously. They're having a good look and say, boy, sorry, not you, honey. A good enough reason to ensure your kids don't go to that place for college. I mean, it's unbelievable. She said, I'm a first-generation immigrant myself. And now as a citizen who has the privilege of not having to fear for my life, I say F ICE and F the president.
Legal.
Yeah, legally. Exactly.
And, I'm at the point now we don't let any more Chinese in, because how many of them are actually working for the...
Well, they're spies.
The government. Yeah.
Some of them, and God knows how many, are spies.
And we've done it before. We cut down Chinese immigration wrongly before, but this time maybe there's something to it.
And by the way, they may not be professional like CIA undercover students who have been groomed since they were 5, but if there's a student going to America and some communist Chinese big shot goes to the family and says, by the way, we're going to make your kid's life miserable if he doesn't find us some information while he's over there in school taking all these technical classes, we expect him to feed us what he knows. If he doesn't, you're going to make your life miserable back home. So I mean, they may not be spies, but they're helpers for the Chinese Communist government.
And it's not just military. They work in some very important fields.
Yeah.
So if there's a Chinese company over there that wants a little inside information.
Right. They're helping their home country. I mean, you can't blame them. But again, we have to realize that we need to do a lot better job of screening who the hell we're giving our information to.
You had to have something to come to this country.
Right.
You had to prove that you added something to America, and you wanted to be an American. This willy-nilly letting anybody in who shows up and sneezes, enough of that.
Didn't you used to have to be able to speak English?
It depends.
Well, I guess if you're part of a family, if you're coming in, the family's coming in, and but still, you have to make a contribution. Yeah. You can't just take everybody's criminals, which is what we did. They literally, those countries emptied their prisons and their insane asylums, and they brought them here, and we have them now. As evidence for what we're doing.
Both under Democratic presidents,
that's right.
too. Carter and Biden.
That's right. We got Flounders Funny coming on. And by the way, there's a Bravo star. I've never heard of her, Jennifer Welsh. Apparently she's a big deal. And she's got some complaints too. I'm sick and tired of these people, but you need to hear that they're real and what they're saying. In the meantime, 3:58 already. Holy cow. And Flounders Funny coming up to start our Monday off here, sir, if you will. A little something there for you.
I used to work at this mechanic shop, and one of our customers was a big game hunter. He used to go to Africa and shoot like lions and stuff, and he'd have them stuffed in his house. But he wouldn't call himself a hunter. He would say, I'm a conservationist. That's what they call themselves. And because I didn't know this, he's like, they have to buy a tag. You have to like buy a tag in an auction, and you spend like $100,000 to go, and they let you go shoot a lion, and then that money goes to like the park to help fund the rest of the park. So he's like, you understand, I'm not a hunter. I'm a conservationist because the money I spend helped to go fund the park. And I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, that's true. But that's also like saying, yeah, I fly to Thailand to sleep with prostitutes, but you have to understand the money that I give them, that goes to help their families. And so if you look at it that way, I'm not a pervert, I'm a philanthropist.
Who's that, Flounder?
Zoltan Kazaks.
Oh, here you go. By the way, speaking of big game hunters, a couple of days ago, this story broke. An American game hunter, a millionaire named Asher Watkins, 52, from America, was on a big game hunt to get a big 1,000-pound buffalo in Africa. The buffalo saw the hunter team coming and stalked the guy and got him and gored him and killed him. Almost instantly, the big game hunter got killed and gored by the buffalo who was stalking him in the jungle. Oh, man.
Sometimes, senor, the bull wins.
The bull wins. Coming up on 4 o'clock, Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. And it's only Monday, but it's all good. Come on and join us. What's up? How you doing? Look out.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Controversy in the Capitol. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. Protesting in Washington.
EDC, we shall not be.
Reaction after President Trump pledged to federalize law enforcement in the nation's capital.
Deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
The move follows high-profile crimes. Fox's Alexandria Hoff.
The president said that crime is directly impacting the function of the federal government. Therefore, it is his job to do something about that, and he did today by invoking Section 740 of D.C.'s home rule. What that allows the president to do is take control of the city's police department under emergency conditions for a certain amount of time. So for now, the Justice Department will run D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Force. Well, D.C.'s Attorney General, he's disputing all of this by saying the administration's actions are unprecedented, unnecessary, and unlawful. There is no crime emergency in the District of Columbia. Violent crime in D.C. reached historic 30-year lows last year and is down another 26% so far this year.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser calling it unsettling. An explosion today at a U.S. steel plant in Pennsylvania. Rescue crews searching the rubble near Pittsburgh. Fox's Nate Foy.
We are being told by county officials that there's possible entrapment, so they are searching through the rubble and trying to find anybody who remains after this explosion that happened at the U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works factory just before 11 a.m. This is the largest coke manufacturing facility in the United States, and county officials said about the status of the injured, quote, the status of those individuals is not known at this time. Emergency services is coordinating with all local agencies. The Allegheny County Health Department warning those who live within 1 mile of the factory to stay indoors, close all windows and doors, and also set your HVAC system to recirculate.
At least one person dead. America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Ghostbusters. Da, da, da. 1984 it was. Ray Parker Jr. started 3 weeks at number 1 on the singles chart with Ghostbusters. Parker had been a session guitar player for Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye, and he was accused of plagiarizing the melody from Huey Lewis and the News' song, I Want a New Drug, resulting in Huey Lewis suing Parker, and they settled out of court in 1985 after the 84. Okay. And it does kind of have a little thing. Yeah.
We didn't play this last week, but we know for a fact that Huey Lewis lifted an ELO song almost word for word.
Well, he's bad.
Shut up, Huey.
Yeah, Huey, you eat me. And we used to go to the same dry cleaner in Sausalito or Mill Valley, or I forgot where it was now, in California when I was here for 2 lousy stinking
Another
years.
bingo card?
No, well, you know, I mean, how many people can say that you might run into Huey Lewis picking up your dry cleaning? I mean, come on, that's a thing. Isn't that what? That's not a thing. I don't have had an interesting life for a minute.
Bingo. Bingo. We should have had a halfway through the year rundown on all the things he's done so far.
Hope somebody's keeping track. I'm gonna put this in my book that's coming out. Shut Up and Leave Me Alone. That'll be coming out next month.
Shut up.
I'm the only talk show host in the history of American radio whose basic theme is just leave me alone. It would be fine. Idiot. Our birthday list includes Joe Jackson, the singer who did Steppin' Out, not the guy who turned Michael Jackson into a plastic surgery-addicted junkie who didn't live to see his 51st birthday. Oh, my God. What a way to put it for this guy who wrote this on Joe Jackson. Holy smokes. Nice.
What?
That was a little too fast. No. That's why it was confusing. Here's what he says. Joe Jackson, 71. That would be the singer who did Steppin' Out, not the guy who turned Michael Jackson into a plastic surgery-addicted junkie who didn't live to see his 51st birthday. Please don't get them confused. I mean, that's cold, man. But that's the first thing I thought when I saw the birthday list, Joe Jackson. Oh, my God. You mean, no, that's not it. And this is kind of a cute little thing here today. In our history list, 1942. Movie actress. Hold on, I got to get a double thing. I got 2 sheets on this one. It's very quick, too. 1942. Movie actress Hedy Lamarr. That's Hedley from Blazing Saddles. That's Hedley. Hedy Lamarr, the actress, 1942, and avant-garde music composer George Antheil receive a patent for a radio-controlled torpedo guidance system. Hedy Lamarr, the actress and the movie star and a composer, the torpedo radio-controlled guidance system, their breakthrough in 1942 will play a key role in today's wireless technology, including Wi-Fi and GPS. And you can thank, among others, Hedy Lamarr.
Yeah, and just another contribution that the Palestinian people... Oh, wait a minute. No, she wasn't Palestinian.
Oh, golly, no. I'm so sorry. No, she was not an Arab. The thing there with the thing. Anyway, Hedy Lamarr, 1942. What a story. I mean, think about it.
And she was one of the most beautiful women that have ever been in the movie.
She was...
Her face.
She was striking. She really was a striking damsel. A couple things. Let's see. Oh, I almost got hit on my chopper again. I tell you, I'm not going on... This is the last time I was on my chopper going north on Alpharetta Highway, Route 9, Main Street in Alpharetta. When you leave old Alpharetta or the Main Street, downtown Alpharetta, and you go north on Main Street of Alpharetta, and you get up where Old Milton starts, and every intersection, every traffic light has about 4 malls on either side of every corner of every intersection for about that mile strip in there. And I guess that's where the ladies who are driving along maybe are looking to see where they want to go next. Because, 2 weeks ago, a lady bumped into me while I was at a traffic light. And yesterday, driving north right up on Route 9, right up near Old Milton, and son of a gun, there's a lady on my left side who starts turning right into me. I mean, literally right into me on my chopper. And if I hadn't done the right thing, she'd have hit me. And man, I reacted. I must say I reacted in an extreme manner. And I never did actually pull my Colt 45 out of my Paladin Have Gun Will Travel holster, but I made sure that she was nowhere near me until she finally turned off. But it's freaking unbelievable. And I think it's because they keep looking at, well, what's the next shopping center I want to go into? Where's the next store here? I mean, it's unbelievable. And it's the same place it happened before. I'm not going there anymore. I'm going to take a different route around.
Okay. What was she driving?
She was driving a big car, like an SUV.
Well, if it's a Mercedes, check and see. The next Mercedes
one was
that
a
gets
Mercedes.
close to you.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, let them hit you. We're talking nest egg replacement.
Good point. Because I need to take care of that idea. Wow.
You know the lawyer to call.
Yeah, David Van Sant Law. And the first lady was a Mercedes, and this one, I think, was a Caddy. I think it was a Cadillac. It was kind of hard to tell in my rearview mirror, but I turned around to try to, go over and strangle her, but I didn't make it. Anyway, so that was kind of bizarre. Sorry. No, it's true. I mean, this is like the second time now. And it's right the same place, I'll do my quick things. Hey, of course, I'm talking about me and way too much, so I got to stop. But speaking of the chopper, and then I'll stop this, I had 3 other very exciting, fun incidents twice within like a half an hour period drive. I was going toward Old Roswell, just kind of getting away from the traffic and stuff, and 2 girls on the sidewalk near Holcomb Bridge Road or 92, whatever it is there, as I was turning to go south into Old Roswell at the intersection, 2 girls who were kind of punk rockers, had like purple hair or something, and they looked probably, teenagers, maybe 20, walking down the sidewalk, and they saw me coming out on my chopper, and they started jumping around and squealing and say, oh, hey, kind of like that, like they wanted me to stop and talk to them or something cool, because I had a cool motorcycle, my cool chopper. Of course, I didn't,
why would you want to do that?
Well, then what am I going to, then what? then they see, oh, sorry, mister. So it was, but I got a big kick out of it. And then the same thing happened about a half an hour later with 2 different other girls. Just got a kick out, you screaming and yelling, and of course I looked pretty cool. I was wearing my black leather vest and my pistol. I mean, so just jumping and yelling. But I thought it was kind of cool that they actually seemed happy and enthusiastic and were just, loving life. And I walking down the sidewalk, and it gave me true. And then the last thing, and I'll stop talking about this, driving actually through Old Roswell, and I was going slow because there's a lot of pedestrian walkway areas. All those little shops and patio dining places in Old Roswell, and so I was driving through to get out of the traffic and stuff. Actually, a guy yelled out, "Kimmer!" I think that's the first time I've been recognized in any way in years. That was kind of cool. Anyway, so...
that cop recognizes you every time.
Well, that's true. I guess that's true. It's the second time. Yeah, but this is a civilian. The cops know me because, half of them have pulled me over. No, using me for training exercises. Again, no, seriously. I didn't do anything. All right, 411. All right, here we go. Cut number 6 coming up here, Flounder. Again, I've never heard of this girl. Have you ever heard of Jennifer Welsh? Jennifer Welsh is a Bravo star. She has a podcast, I think, called I've Had It, and she's a real estate reality TV star. Oh, I've heard of her. She's a very flamboyant real estate girl on her something or other. Well, her name is Jennifer Welsh, and she apparently has had it up to here, and she is now, this is cut number 6, Flounder, she is now saying that people who support Donald Trump should not be able to eat food at foreign-themed restaurants. Flounder number 6 here.
I've had it with white people that triple trumped, that have the nerve to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And if you want to triple Trump, and you want to browbeat DEI, and you want to browbeat gay people, and you want to browbeat black people, as you've been doing for 400 years.
Yeah, we do that so
and you
often.
want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses, earnestly pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists. I have had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your smug ass around. Nobody wants to see that. No one.
I mean, if you kind of look at all the videos online, it's the libs that are the fat asses.
Maybe the Mexicans should take off our blue jeans then.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, seriously. And she, by the way, she's really disgusting. She says, I mean, the words are really filthy.
And she's trying to start something, the triple Trump. It's the first time I've ever heard that phrase.
I've never
she's
heard
trying
that.
to do it.
Does that mean voted for him 3 times? I mean, what does that mean? Is
she's
that
trying to be relevant? Yeah.
Oh, please.
and how many illegal? Okay, how many? I want a percentage. How many illegals have come across the border and started a business?
Right. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Let's do a survey of all these new business owners who came across illegally and suddenly started a new Mexican restaurant. I'll be damned. They're all over the place. It was have been 15 million. I noticed about 12 million new stores just myself. God. All right, 413, give her Pete and Flounder. Come on. This is unbelievable.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
You've probably heard about this, but it's a pretty incredible story, so you're about to hear more. Falcons versus Detroit, Friday night, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I think they call it. Nathan Carter got a good hit on the Lions' Maurice Norris. A good enough hit that Maurice Norris had to leave the field in an ambulance. It's an exhibition game. The score doesn't really count. So the players decided, with about 13 minutes left, that they were through playing for the night. They snapped the ball and stood there in a circle, praying, talking to one another, all the while the clock is running. There was not going to be another play. The concern was about Maurice Norris. Now, I'm not an NFL fan, not after Colin Kaepernick, but I thought this was a class act, and I said so on Facebook. And here come the comments. Somebody named Joe said, a family doesn't pay $500 to watch a game get canceled. Okay, it wasn't canceled. It was suspended. Another guy says, is this the norm now? Try taking a family of 4 to a football game with all the expenses. Even these exhibition games are expensive. I would have left unhappy. It's football. They get hurt. Play the game. Now, if I may disagree, your children that you took to this game witnessed an exhibition of sportsmanship. Football players showing class, something you, as a parent, apparently can't do. They saw sportsmanship instead of a final score, respect instead of a final score, honor instead of a final score. A much-needed good moment in professional football. If you don't think so, you're the loser. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
The next big storm isn't a matter of if, it's when. Is your home ready? Southern Exteriors offers free inspections and dependable storm damage repairs with in-house warranties and honest service. Right now, get 10% off any job or 12 months, 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug, and I've met the team at Southern Exteriors. They do things the right way. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. It's 877-9-SOUTHERN or southernexteriors.co.
Wow, boy, hot and steamy, and the weather's changing, and planting season's still in effect. And if you're looking for Stovall & Company third-generation wholesale landscaping supplies, they're ready when you are. Again, if you're a builder, contractor, putting in a backyard or fixing up one or patio stuff, things like that. Stovall & Company, Paul and Boys, as a family business, when you need something fast, it's probably already on the way. And it's the plants and trees and shrubs and sod and landscaping stuff and stonework and pebbles and irrigation systems and sprinklers, the whole deal. And again, if they don't have it and you need it, they'll tell you where to get it from someone else. That's how good they are. StovallInc.com.
Don't miss out as your Atlanta Braves face the White Sox and Mets August 18th through the 24th. Fans can look forward to 3 giveaways during the series, including the Spencer Strider vinyl record giveaway on August 19th, featuring music from some of Spencer's favorite bands, plus a post-game performance at the Battery Atlanta Green, hosted by Spencer. And on Friday the 22nd, join us for a special alumni night, presented by your local Ford dealer, to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the 95 World Series Championship. Check out the pre-game alumni parade down Battery Avenue, featuring fan favorites like Greg Maddux, Fred McGriff, Javi Lopez, and more. And then receive a 95 World Series replica ring presented by Coke. Then we keep the fun rolling on Saturday with the first annual hunting and fishing night, including some fun activities courtesy of the Georgia Department of Natural Resources in the Battery Atlanta, and a camo rope hat giveaway presented by Realtree. Get your tickets at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
This will go over like a lead balloon. Look out here. 1979, Led Zeppelin in Britain. It was their last ever British show at the Nebworth House in England. The set included The Song Remains the Same, Celebration Day, Black Dog, Nobody's Fault But Mine, Over the Hills, Far Away, Misty Mountain. Anybody know any of these songs? Are they big songs?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
All of them.
Since I've Been Loving You, No Quarter, Hot Dog.
Living in a cardboard box under the overpass?
Shut up. The Rain Song, Wild Summer, Black Mountainside, Kashmir, Trampled Underfoot, Sick Again, Achilles' Last Stand in the Evening.
All of them.
Stairway to Heaven. Okay, I know that one. Rock and Roll, Whole Lot of Love. I know that one. And Communication Breakdown. So I know like 3 out of those 12. Okay. 79, Led Zeppelin.
It's like the ideal Led Zeppelin set list.
Seriously.
I can't listen to this music. I'm sorry. I would no more put on this record and enjoy listening to this than the man. I couldn't listen to 7 seconds of this song if I were in my car or something. Unless there's a... That's right, baby. Let's get that top off. Get in line, baby. Yeah. Oh, my God. All right. Luckily, phone calls take priority. And it's Lori. You're on the radio, baby. How's it going? What's up?
Hey, guys. I just got a comment about the crazy woman.
Yeah.
How many people voted for Trump?
95 million, 100 million. What
Can you imagine that the Mexican restaurants and the Chinese restaurants saying, shut up. We want everybody.
That's right.
Thank you.
And all the people who came here legally and did it the right way and made the sacrifice. I mean, my gosh.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
He has no clue. He don't have a job. He has no clue.
I know. All right, thanks, sweetie. I appreciate it. Again, they're hateful. They can't possibly think that Donald Trump is somehow just going into people's families and taking away Grammy, who never signed the papers 30 years ago or something. I mean, they're just making it out to be something. Again, it's the big lie over and over and over. I mean, it really truly is disgusting. It's anti-American. It's hate-filled. It's just the worst thing that can happen has happened to this country, and it's all just because they hate Donald Trump.
Yep. No, they hate America. They hate themselves. They hate their family. They hate their God. They hate their country.
Yeah.
They hate everything.
Yeah.
Everything except money. Except money and fame.
Yeah.
They love that.
Yeah, and clicks. Social. Got to be TikTok and clicks and social media and the movement of this underground.
And I guarantee you, she doesn't live within 3 miles of any illegal alien, but she probably has them mow her lawn.
Yeah. And they're all over the place, too, unfortunately. By the way, you have a game coming up in tweets and all stuff. And another rather bizarre history thing. This is not the way it used to be today, ladies and gentlemen. On this day in 1492, that's a lot of people used to get the historical thing with Columbus wrong, where they would say 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Instead, what it really is 1493, Columbus sailed the deep blue sea. So again, a lot of kids got that wrong, the first part of it. Anyway, on this day in 1492, Rodrigo Borgia was ecstatic. Rodrigo Borgia spent a fortune bribing his fellow cardinals in a tight election, and he won the throne of Rome of St. Peter on this day in 1492. The new pope took the name of Alexander VI, held in his greedy paws all the wealth and power that came with the exalted position. So, of course, His Holiness, the Borgia, along with his mistress and many of his illegitimate children, one of whom was subsequently made a cardinal when he was 19, the family, his mistress, and his illegitimate kids had to celebrate, which they did with a kind of unbridled pagan pomp not seen in Rome since the days of the Mount Emperors. The world belonged to the Borgias. The price was steep. They had what they wanted. Alexander sells the keys, the altar, and Christ himself. When a ubiquitous epigram of the day, he has a right to them because he bought them. The Borgias. Remember, there was a TV series on the Borgias. Yeah. It was short-lived. I saw part of it. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know why it didn't make up.
It was one of the guys from Game of Thrones that was in it. Yeah.
And maybe that was just I don't know whether it was expected to continue. It may have just been a 6-episode, whatever. But I remember it didn't last long, but it was pretty cool. Anyway, Kimmer P. Flounder, 424. How you doing? 404-741-1230. A couple of court cases. The Supreme Court has now been formally asked to overturn the landmark case about same-sex marriages. Remember, in Kentucky, the county clerk named Kim Davis was put in jail for 6 days in 2015 because she refused to issue a marriage license to gay couples on religious grounds. She is appealing a $100,000 jury verdict for emotional damages by these people suing her in the county and $260,000 in attorney's fees. She's arguing the First Amendment protection for free exercise of religious immunization against personal liability for denial of marriage licenses, and the decision violated the 14th Amendment due process protection. And here's the deal. This is the first time since 2015 and that case that the Supreme Court will be formally asked to overturn the landmark gay marriage decision. And she is one of the only Americans alive currently with legal standing to bring the challenge. Again, to get to the court, you have to have a legitimate means of doing it. And if you're just some, Tom, Dick, and Harry saying, I want to sue somebody for nothing, they're not going to let you do it. But her lawyer says if there was ever a case of exceptional importance, the first individual in the Republic's history who was put in jail for following her religious convictions regarding the historic definition of marriage. What a case. Now, the undercourts have denied it, but the Supreme Court has now been asked to formally take on the case, and that could be interesting. that could really, not that it, I mean, if you want to be together, you're going to be together. But still, I mean, what is marriage? The Bible, man and woman, all that kind of stuff. So here we go. One more quick court thing. The Epstein grand jury materials will not get released. Another federal judge, and this is a girl judge from Barack Hussein Puttitat. I beg pardon. This is a boy judge, Puttitat's guy, said he was shot down the motion to unseal grand jury materials related to the sex trafficking cases against Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. The judge shot down the motion to release them, saying the documents do not contain significant undisclosed information about their crimes or the investigation. He said only 2 features of the grand jury evidence were noteworthy. They didn't hear testimony from any first-hand witness or a victim witness or suspect or even a records custodian. The only members were law enforcement, and each grand jury evidence heard only 1 day. So he says he denied the request for releasing the information. Another fix is in. I mean, they're not going to stop. This is it's not going anywhere. And again, Donald Trump's taken control of the Washington, D.C. Police Department. And again, did you hear that they're already chanting and complaining and protesting? And of course, the mayor of Washington, D.C. Says, well, crime is down. They actually do have statistics showing that basically in some areas crime is down, but it was also down from the record highs of all time. So, carjackings are up 300%. Car thefts are up 200%. So please give me a break about, crime down. Look at all the, and by the way, compared to other capitals, the murder rate in Washington, D.C. is 300% higher than Mexico City. And I wrote down the rest of them too. Mexico City and London and Paris. We have a higher murder rate than the capitals of South American countries, for crying out loud, by a mile. So, again, and dirty and unsafe and just, blech.
A lot of these places don't even report a lot of crimes anymore to the FBI or anyone else. They just don't report it, like California.
And New York City. Remember, the scandal was New York City and Chicago were among the 2 of the biggest cities who did not report all the crimes. So it made it look like the murder rates were down in the major big Democrat-run cities, and it was all a lie because they did not report the statistics. So, take it as a grain of salt. Oh, and also, by the way, I wonder if there's something happening on the NBC with this girl, Kristen Welker, who's been a freaking disgrace since Donald Trump was running for president again this second time. But now she had Governor Fatso from Illinois, Pritzker's his official name, I think, on her show, and she stuck it to him about being a billionaire. She said, Governor Fatso, some in your party are open. He's a billionaire. Some are opening, questioning whether billionaires such as yourself should even exist at all, Governor. And so he gave her the word salad. Look, how much money you have doesn't determine what your values are. I'm a Democrat because I believe that everyone deserves health care, because we're going to fund educators, stand up against democracy, MAGA Republicans trying to take away people's rights, So he didn't react to the fact that there shouldn't be billionaires at all. They just word salad themselves. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, who are both richer than hell, are fighting oligarchy tours. And so Kristen Welker pressed him. And she said, well, let's look at the map of Illinois, talking about redistricting. Let's look at this. Despite President Trump won about half of all the statewide vote, Republicans only hold 3 of the 17 congressional districts. Yeah. The districts maximize Democratic advantage. What do you say to those who say it's hypocritical for when your state drew maps to boost your party's standing? And again, word salad. He answered, well, what Texas is doing is they're violating the law. We had meetings and hearings, and people went there and spoke out, so, they're violating the law, which has nothing to do with how you gerrymandered the freaking district. And by the way, for the record, Kristen Welker again, at NBC, Kristen Welker, to her credit, said there are groups who grade the fairness of congressional maps in America, all told in all American districts. Illinois gets an F. A government watchdog said Illinois' map represents a nearly perfect model for everything that can go wrong with redistricting. Kristen Welker called him on it. Maybe she's afraid of keeping her job if they go non-woke again. Anyway, 431, we'll see. I think it's a good sign. I still don't trust her, though. She's, geez, girls. Da 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 da.
finally, a president that will fight for American values.
The American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
And finally, an Atlanta news station that covers it the right way. Extra 106.3 isn't about traffic and weather. We care about the stories that matter most to you, your family, and your community. Get traffic and weather on your phone and get Atlanta's only conservative conversation right here on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Hey, by the way, Atlanta Safe House, not only keeping your stuff safe, but keeping your stuff a lot less expensive than you have to pay someplace else. They have Browning rebates now at AtlantaSafehouse.com. They do this all the time. Browning rebates are probably the best you've ever seen all through this month, the month of August. Browning Safes rebates. I mean, you're going to save a whole bundle of money. This is a big time Charlie. They have savings and rebates to save you money. And by the way, if you're looking for wall safes or biometric electronic locks, they have stuff like that. Barrel racks for your barrel guns, for big guns. They have pistol racks. Oh, and don't forget, you don't pay any sales tax on gun safes at Atlanta Safe House. They have that showroom in Ackworth up on Industrial Boulevard. They have almost 200 of them right there, and they can adjust the things on inside for the shelving units and whatever it is you're looking for. Don't forget those Browning rebates, big time Charlie, right now all through August. And no sales tax on gun safes. They can build you a family storm shelter. They have pistol safes and jewelry safes and wall safes and whatever. They can fix your safe if you have one that's broken. They can change your master reset code. They can take care of your stuff, keeping it safe. AtlantaSafehouse.com.
When you meet with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler, about your retirement plan, it's not only comprehensive, it's customized because everyone is different. Coach Pete, give us a glimpse of that meeting with Craig Chandler.
Yeah, we do 22 steps behind the scenes for your plans, folks, and we give it all on one page. We explain it all on one page in coding, easy to understand, so you see exactly what's going to happen in retirement. It's a one-page retirement income plan, and if you haven't had that yet, we're going to do that at no cost or obligation. If you call right now, we'll put one together for you, but it'll put you in control of retirement instead of retirement controlling you, and that's the best thing you could ever feel is that freedom, the financial freedom that you and your family deserve.
Get that look at what your retirement plan can be. Great second opinion, too. No cost, no obligation. Call Craig Chandler, 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. That is, until they meet the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance goes the extra mile to reach veterans in their communities so they do not have to take this journey alone. With over 40 partners across 10 service areas, your donation goes a long way toward achieving maximum impact for a veteran and their family. Go to thewarrioralliance.org to donate today and commit to helping the Warrior Alliance change thousands of lives for the better.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
Back to school means back to traffic in Atlanta. If traffic mishaps land you in trouble with the law, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds from local to federal for any jail in any city. And in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Modular and offsite construction is booming. If you're an architect, building engineer, supplier, developer, or contractor, you can't miss the Offsite Construction Summit, returning to the International Convention Center in Atlanta on August 19th. With the rising cost of traditional building, modular and offsite construction is changing the way that companies build. It's quicker, cheaper, and offers a faster ROI. So don't miss the Offsite Construction Summit, coming to the International Convention Center in Atlanta on August 19th. This is your opportunity to learn from and connect with the industry's best. Register today at offsiteconstructionnetwork.com. That's offsiteconstructionnetwork.com.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump, he's entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Kind of a story behind this thing with wings. Band on the Run. On this day in 1973, rather than join Paul McCartney traveling to Nigeria to record the band's latest album, Band on the Run guitarist Henry McCulloch and drummer Denny Selwell both quit Wings. And that forced Paul, wife Linda, and Denny Lane to record the album as a trio. Because they just didn't, I don't know what the story, I don't know why they quit. Was there a thing behind that? Do we know?
Probably his best solo album.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing they quit. They didn't want to go to Nigeria. What if that was a racist thing? All those dark people or something. I don't know. I'm just saying. Well, they're bad. They must have been bad people. They dumped out on the guy, Paul McCartney. I can't.
Who's going to want to spend a few months in Nigeria? Maybe you just,
I don't know. Probably got hot babes. I used to get National Geographic. I mean, come on. All right, 4:38. Come Pete and Flounder.
And we're walking. Please God, we're walking.
As a little boy, we used to look at our parents' National Geographic magazines. Thank you.
All right, on that. No.
Keep moving.
To the phones. It's Victor. You're on the radio. Victor, happy Monday. What's going on, man?
Hey, Dimmer. Hey, well, I hate to say this, but National Geographic, you're not wrong. And
all right,
nobody heard me say that. So this crime thing going on in D.C., what people need to understand, if you listen closely the way they'll say the crime reporting is down, but they won't tell you actual crime is down. And that's because they've changed things. The Democrats have made it to where people won't even report certain crimes because they've changed the rules on it. So they're saying, like, okay, if it's a carjacking or something like that, we're not going to come out. We're not going to send the cops out for that. Well, then they're not going to report those crimes.
Yeah, it's not on the list.
So they're playing with the language, and this is typical of the Democrats, and it just drives me insane.
You would honestly, you would think that some leader in the Democrat Party would be in favor of cracking down on children stealing cars at gunpoint and things. I mean, it's just amazing. They just hate Donald Trump so much, even if they know what he's doing is right. They just can't admit it. I mean, it's just I don't know that a country's ever been like this to such an extent.
Well,
really,
here's the problem. Yeah. They can't do that, Kimmer, because it might be an illegal alien who's committing the crime, and they need those bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the way we're headed, we're headed kind of down the road where if Trump really deports these illegals. And listen, my heritage is Mexican. I mean, I'm known as the Mexican not afraid to be American because I'm an American first.
God bless you.
And if Donald Trump keeps pushing out the illegal aliens, then the numbers in blue states are going to go down population-wise, and they're not going to be able to retain their seats.
Yeah.
So you think 8 years or so down the road, the Republicans are going to be gaining seats, and the Democrats can't allow that. So they would choose to have crime rampant in our country because their power depends on it. And it's sad, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to sound cynical, but it's the truth. It really is. Yeah. It's awful. But my father came here. He came here legally on a student visa. worked 3 jobs, went from washing floors and cleaning hospital beds and washing dishes to CFO of a company. I mean, I watched the American dream as I grew up.
Yeah.
So I know it can happen, and my dad loves this country. So it's a slap in his face for Democrats to run around
Yes, it is.
protecting illegal aliens who are actually gangbangers and child molesters. Oh, man, I'm sorry. It gets my blood boiling.
It should. I mean, this is a man. And by the way, I can tell you this right now. The experience that I have, just, I did a lot of construction work and growing up and as an adult and a lot of different things. And I'm telling you, the people who came to this country and signed the book and did it the right way and worked their ass off are the greatest American citizens who care more for this country than a lot of us who are born with just the right to do whatever the hell we feel like. And all these freaking liberals who are now educated in public schools, turning them against America, hating what their country stands for. Your dad came here because of what the country stands for, not what they want the country to stand for. It's unbelievable. What happened in the last 3 or 4 decades all of a sudden? I don't understand it, Victor. I don't get it.
Unfortunately, Democrats happen, but I will tell you this. Growing up, my father when he was growing up in Mexico, he never learned about a Mexican dream or about a French dream or a German dream. He learned about the American dream, which is why he came here in his early 20s to live the American dream, and he instilled that into me and my siblings. My dad never, ever put his hand out and said the government will give me this if I ask for it. I've never had a Democrat tell me that the government won't give me anything. Democrats will tell me to this day, because my last name is Spanish, oh, you can apply for this, this, and this. Well, I don't want that. I want to work for myself in a wonderful, beautiful capitalist country where I can put my sweat equity out and then I can get the reward for it. Yeah. But right now, the Democrats, they think that they own you, and it's just sad.
Well, I mean, you put it perfectly when you said your dad came here because of the American dream. The people coming here now tend to be here because they want a free ride, and they think, oh boy, I'm finally going to somebody to take care of me.
It used to be, come to America, it's the land of the free. Yeah. And now the Democrats are telling immigrants, come here, it's the land of free stuff. Yeah. And that's just a terrible road to go down.
Yeah. Victor, thanks, man. Semper Fi, I really appreciate it. And my best to the whole family, man. It's great to have you aboard. Kimmer P. and Flounder, 443. Oh, hold on. We got a game coming up. Hold everything, though. Is that Rick the... Oh, it's Rick. It's Rick the Painter. Rick. It's Rick the Painter. Hey, Maya, let's say, Rick, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Kimmer, happy Monday, brother.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I just want to respond on Victor's comment.
Yeah.
Reinforce what he's saying about crimes not being reported.
Yeah, not reported.
I've had this happen to me firsthand. This crime will not be reported, okay?
Really?
This weekend, I got attacked by a bunch of clowns.
You got attacked by a bunch of clowns? What happened?
Yeah, well, I took them down. Yes, I went straight for the juggler.
You went straight for the juggler because attacked by the clowns came over, attacking by the juggler.
Yeah, all right.
First of all,
I recently took a poll.
Yeah. The poll?
Yeah. I found out that 99% of people in the tent were angry when it collapsed.
He took a poll. See, that's what she said. If you had a checkup, no, a couple of Germans. Anyway, 445. I don't even know. Hold on, we got time for a little something here, Flounder, or did we blow the whole segment? There we go. Hey, Johnny Olson, come on down. Who's our next contestant for the Holy Crap, It's Only the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder show here? Pete Davis, what's up?
All right, the first preseason AP college football poll is out. We'll be talking about during sports.
All right.
But we're going to do the three strikes game that you and Chris played last week, but this time we're going to play with Flounder and you. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready now.
And Flounder will go first.
All right. There we go.
The first ever AP preseason poll came out in 1936.
Ooh, okay.
Flounder, name me one of the 20 teams that was in that poll.
Notre Dame?
That's what I was going to say.
Yes, Notre Dame was in there. Kimmer, you're up.
How about Michigan?
All right, let me go down here. No Michigan.
How the hell is that? All right.
Strike, Flounder.
Let's see. Harvard?
Harvard. That's a good guess here. Let's see. We got Harvard on here. That would be no.
Oh my
not
God.
Harvard.
Well, I'm going to go out in left field and say Rutgers. Because that was one of the early colleges that did a lot of sports stuff in the 1800s.
It was the first, Rutgers Princeton was the first college football game, but that would be another.
God, now, okay, what are we guessing on the first 20 teams of the college poll of the best teams of college football teams,
the
right?
first ever AP poll, 1936, the 20 teams were in that poll.
Believe it. So Michigan was not there.
Nope.
And,
Yale?
And Harvard was not there.
Yes, Yale was number 10, by the way.
Wow.
And Notre Dame was number 7.
So that's 2 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how about...
Got 2 strikes already. Don't blow it.
How about, let's see, Amherst?
What?
I don't know.
Amherst?
I don't know.
Flounder, you win.
It's old. It
wasn't even oh my God. All right. Marquette was in there at number 20. Then you had SMU. We're going down. SMU, Tulane was 18. Holy Cross, Fordham, Nebraska, Texas A&M, LSU, St. Mary's, and Duquesne were the bottom 10. The top 10, Yale at number 10, Pittsburgh at number 9, Washington, Notre Dame, USC, Purdue, Northwestern, Army.
Oh, I didn't get that one already.
Number 2 was Duke, and this was a big power back then. Duke was number 2. Number 1, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, who won 2 championships in a row.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I've flunked that one. Holy smokes. 447, it's only Monday. It's Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230 if you want to join us. Come on, what's going on? Yeah.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app, now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Compact outside, the all-electric EQB 250 Plus SUV is big on space, style, and smart ideas. With available seating for 7, a digital voice assistant, and MB navigation with electric intelligence, the EQB is born from a forward-thinking family and built for yours. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 EQB 250 Plus SUV, just $299 per month for 36 months with $48.93 due at signing. Exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details and see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and if you have been injured in a car crash, it's going to be harder than ever to get insurance companies to treat you fairly. What you need is a real lawyer on your side, not some phony TV or billboard lawyer who doesn't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 straight years, and we try cases and we win. We get results for our clients. Call me, get in touch, hagan-law.com. We are real lawyers who will win your personal injury case.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the grand slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts, Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Time now for the Retire Wise Report. James Parker here with financial advisor Sean Maloney, founder and CEO of Retire Wise.
Many people assume their taxes will automatically go down once they retire and stop collecting paychecks. Sean, is this a dangerous assumption?
It can be, because you know what? Lower taxes in retirement can be a myth. It's not always true, right? Remember, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could be taxed, right? Your traditional IRA and 401k income is 100% taxable, so that needs to be accounted for. And that's why it's so important to find ways to reduce or eliminate your taxes wherever possible.
Tell us about the offer you have for our listeners.
Hey, look, now is the time to start looking ahead and identifying your tax liabilities in retirement. Well, we have a great resource for you guys. We have what's called the Retire Happy Framework Toolkit. You can get a copy today by calling or texting the word WISE to 770-802-2200. My team helped put together this just for you, and it's a complimentary guide. And the center of this is a copy of my latest book, The Priority of Retirement. It has chapters on everything from Social Security to investments to income planning. We include guides in there as well as on strategies for income planning, for taxes, and even dealing with recessions in retirement, among other things. So if you want to get this information in your hands today, call or text the word WISE to 770-802-2200. That's 770-802-2200.
Take advantage of this offer. Get your Retire Happy Framework today. Just text WISE to 770-802-2200. And the team at Retire Wise will get you your Retire Happy Framework right away. So just call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Firm does not provide tax services.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check them out online at atlturfco.com.
Hi, Tito. 1969. 350 special guests were invited to see Motown Records' new signings, the Jackson 5. They were playing at the Daisy Club at Beverly Hills. 1969, new signings to Motown. What a story. Little Michael Jackson. What was he, 7 or 8 or 9 or something at the time? Good grief. Jackson 5. What a story. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Our birthday list includes Chris Hemsworth is 42, Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And in 2014, People magazine chose Chris Hemsworth as the sexiest man alive. See in that commercial where he comes bounding in like an ape man or something into crashing in somebody's living room or something? He looks like a giant. Is he a really huge guy?
He's a big guy. He's not giant, but he's muscular.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Anyway, Chris Hemsworth is 42 years old today, and a huge star. And on this day in history, 1972, I've forgotten that it was this early. 1972, this day, the last U.S. ground combat unit in South Vietnam, the 3rd Battalion, 21st Infantry of the Army, the last ground combat unit in Vietnam is deactivated and begins leaving for the United States. They were guarding the U.S. Air Base at Da Nang. That left about 43,000 advisors, airmen, and support troops left in country in Vietnam. That didn't include sailors in the 7th Fleet or the South China Sea or the Air Force, but they deactivated the last ground combat unit. Have been guarding Da Nang in the DMZ, the Dead Marine Zone, in 1972. Well, I forgot because it was a few years later where it was, I think it was 1975 that was finally was the last thing. Anyway, come up, Pete and a flounder, 404-741-1230, 456. Let's see. Excuse me. I found my Kimmer Media financial records. So I can prove that after 2 years, we made almost $12,000 if I have to come up with the documents for the IRS. I finally found. I'm going to put that in my Atlanta safe house safe.
Yeah. You might want to start writing some checks on there and see what happens.
No, I don't think I'll be writing any check. In fact, I should auction that off. Who wants the Kimmer Media checkbook?
Well, there's actually a few dollars left in there, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea.
No, probably not.
As the CFO of Kimmer Media,
that's right.
I advise you not to do that.
Probably a very good point. Excuse me. Donald Trump. Flounder, let's play cut number 5 here real quick. I think we got a minute for Flounder's funny. Donald Trump has taken over control of the Metropolitan Police in D.C. He's got National Guard troops going in there. He's got FBI agents roaming the streets to take care of the crime issue. And Jeanine Pirro, who's the U.S. attorney for that district in Washington, D.C., is saying it's about time to get tough with the punks. Number 5, Flounder, if you will, sir. Cut number 5.
I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest, intent to kill, I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the D.C. Council and their absurd laws. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens, and it starts today.
There you go, Jeanine Pirro, and they're not goofing around. Not anymore. Of course, the liberals are going nuts. 458, Flounder. Another Flounder's funny, if you don't mind saying.
Have you never been to Mount Rainier? Just a heads up. You got to pay to go up it. It's not a free mountain. Someone owns it. And it's all uphill. It's a nightmare. So we get up and we park, and then we're like walking up this trail, and I'm going up it. I mean, I can barely breathe. And this couple's coming down, and I like stopped them. I was like, hey, is this like enough? Like where we're at? Like, you know, is this like, you get it? Like, we're not trying to live on this mountain. So is this like good, you know? And the lady goes, I'm 75 years old, and I did it. And I was like, maybe that's why you didn't hear the question that I asked. Because I mean, everybody's pretty cocky on the way down, you know, like, there was women with babies. They had 3-month-old babies strapped to their chest. I was like, why would you bring that much extra weight with you? I left my wallet in the car. I mean, they looked exhausted. I'm surprised they're not just babies left up there and rangers have to come down. Whose baby's this? It's like, that's ours. We're going to let it grow up and come down on its own. It was a huge mistake bringing that baby today.
Nate Bergazzi.
The one and only, sir.
Oh, what a funny guy. Coming up on 5 o'clock. Holy Crap at Sports is coming up, too. We haven't even done tweets yet, and another Flounder's funny. We got your calls, too. It's all coming up. Happy Monday. How's it going? Look out. Here we go.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
To take back the streets. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. President Trump announcing he is planning a federal takeover of Washington, D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department. He's deploying 800 National Guard troops in the city to deal with crime. At a press conference at the White House, the president says he thinks the situation in D.C. makes the whole country look bad.
When you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in. Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol. If our capital's dirty, our whole country is dirty, and they don't respect us.
Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser reacting in her own press conference.
I believe that the president's view of D.C. is shaped by his COVID era experience during his first term. And it is true that those were more challenging times related to some issues.
Mayor Bowser says D.C. experienced a crime spike post-COVID, but worked quickly to put laws in place that got offenders off the streets. President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are meeting up on Friday in Alaska to discuss a possible peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Fox Business Network's Rich Edson has the latest.
Trump says he thinks Russia wants to finish the war, but acknowledged that Putin has disappointed him before.
I'm going in to speak to Vladimir Putin, and I'm going to be telling him, you got to end this war. You got to end it. And he wasn't going to mess with me. This war would have never happened. You know, we had a discussion about it one time, and we never had that discussion again. Would have never happened.
The president says after meeting with Putin, he'll call Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other European leaders. Trump says Russia and Ukraine need to agree to swap land. Zelensky has rejected the idea, refusing to hand Ukrainian territory to Putin that Russia does not control.
And again, Fox's Rich Edson reporting there. America's listening to Fox News.
We all know the importance of good daily habits, whether it's getting your steps in, stretching those limbs, or eating right. Doing it on the regular is key. That's why if you're dealing with everyday aches and pain, it's time to bring Relief Factor into your routine. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a special formula of 4 natural ingredients. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Simply call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, don't let it keep you from living the life you want. Make Relief Factor part of your daily routine. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of leg, ready on your dog target. Help, 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 help. Road guards out. Help, help, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls after a happy weekend. 106.3, here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And by that, I mentioned the flooding coming in. It was so, Terrell Mill was almost underwater. I mean, there were huge waves and splash. And I felt so bad. A car in front of me, I felt this bad. A car in front of me, we were always doing about 30. It was pouring down rain. It just said one stretcher was just pouring down rain. The road's flooded out. Terrell Mill Road coming on to Powers Ferry, here coming toward the Battery. And there was a guy walking down the sidewalk in the rain. The car in front of me covered him in a puddle of water going through this huge puddle in the street, and it just swamped the guy. And he never even flinched. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And I swerved way around to the wrong lane, so I didn't go through the same puddle for the poor bastard to get hit a second time. And I think he kind of waved to me as I was going by. I think he kind of said, "Thanks, mister." And like the first guy, just soaked him. I mean, just creamed him. I thought, oh, you poor bastard. Anyway, but that's all good. Oh, a quick story about my airline stuff. As you know, I'm a few days, and next month I'm going to go see my kids, my grandkids, and my daughter Jennifer. I'm going to Colorado, and she lives there, and she's going to be traveling to Pennsylvania on the same day that I'll be leaving Colorado to come back here. So I want to coordinate a trip when she leaves to go to the airport in Denver at the same time I do, so we can travel together. So Okay. So with that in mind, I have to get a schedule for my travel plans. And so I said, okay, I hear you guys about the Delta thing. And just for the record, I called the number. I called the airline number, the airline reservations for Delta, because I always fly Delta. I only fly like once every 2 years. So I fly first class. I just cut the thing and take the hit and I pay for the ticket. And so I called the Delta airline thing. And at first they put you through, we have a new special app for the so-and-so. Would you like me to call that? No. Oh, well, our wait time is longer than normal. You'll be on the wait time for about 32 minutes. And so, And so I thought, well, okay, I can plug my phone in and put it on speaker and go do about my life. Or, you know what, you guys been ragging me forever, and so I'll do it on my computer. I'll do it on my phone. I'll do it on my computer, my phone, computer, whatever. Okay? So I go onto the site.
What site?
The Delta Airlines site.
No!
What?
Do you want to pay 3 times the price? Seriously.
Well,
you go on Priceline or the Kayak or all these other websites.
I wanted the Delta flight.
Why? So they can rip you off, which is what they do?
Oh, my God.
Because it's comfortable, and that's what Kimmer likes to do.
Likes being ripped off, taking it up the pants.
Because I always fly Delta because I use my points.
Well, again, I have some. I don't even know what that is. In fact,
wear a hat, no one can see them. But
well, anyway, but here's the story. I go on the thing, I go on the website, and I put down. It says what date, and I put down the date I want to travel, and I put down from where to where, and I want to fly first class, and it gives me a thing, and so far I'm feeling pretty good. And all of a sudden I click the next thing, and then it's got all these boxes I'm supposed to check, but they don't have any meaning to me. Do I want to pay by e-card, or do I doing something with a something? I don't know what that means. It was no explanation of why it has anything to do with anything. And so I finally, I think I locked in that one, and then there was no place to go. There was no forward to go. How about the return trip? That'd be nice. And there's no way to get to it. So I was just blocked. I mean, and it was absolutely, I was stuck. It was no way to, it was an app. And then, would you like to go to the new app to help you with the AI? No, I wouldn't. Thank you very much. So I called my daughter, I called Jennifer, who's been through this before. And so I said, and she's got time to do this, thank God. And so finally she had to figure out the ticket situation with Delta. And I mean, honestly, it's a freaking nightmare. Okay, now here's the way it ought to be. Here's the way it used to be. Here's the way it used to be. Ring, ring. Hi, Delta Airlines, can I help you? Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? I want to fly coming up in a few weeks. Okay, where do you want to go? I want to fly from Atlanta to Denver. I want to leave around 11 in the morning and get to Denver whenever I get there. I want to fly first class window seat. Okay, hold on. That's how about 10:30? No, that's too early. How about 11:42? Perfect. 11:42. First class window seat. Okay. And when do you want to return? I'm going to return on Wednesday, somewhere around 11 in the morning. Okay, I've got a flight at 8. No, too early. How about 2:30? No, too late. How about noon? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put you on for noon, returning, and window seat and thing, and using your Visa card. Okay, we'll put that in there, and boom, all set to go. What was that, 30 seconds? How hard is it for some girl to say that? And it was 37 seconds. Yeah, instead of waiting on hold for 30 minutes, and then it's just a freaking nightmare.
You know what you need to do?
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, you need to call your good friend Clark Howard, and he'll get that done for you.
I don't want to have a flight where I have to stand all the way. Save $800. You have to stand all the way. And when you get there, you get a used Yugo as a rental car. So it's kind of
you stop one stop over in Yakima.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, in fact, poor Jennifer, her parents her mother and her stepfather are paying for her ticket, and so she's not flying first class and nonstop. So she's leaving with me the day we come back from Colorado next month, whatever it is. And she leaves at 11 o'clock in the morning in Denver, and she's not getting home or not getting to Pennsylvania until something like 10 o'clock at night because she has stopovers and all this thing. I didn't know that, or I would have gotten her a ticket. In fact, I may see if I can change it for her. Anyway, and by the way, one other thing I thought was kind of bizarre. When Jennifer was getting this ticket for me, she said, buy the ticket. The whole cost of the ticket round trip is about $1,200, I think, $1,200 for the ticket. Dang. If I had wanted to leave at a better time, like 2 hours earlier, to get the ticket to leave 2 hours earlier would have cost me another $1,000. Extra $1,000 for a better time period.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's what Jennifer told me. That's what it said on the thing. I mean, it's like $2,100. I really don't think it's worth $1,000 for me to, have a 2-hour difference in getting there or back. I mean, my God. Anyway, so I had my ticket, and so now wait a minute. Now the other thing is, somebody told me, in fact, that those travel websites can rip you off. There's some of those are.
Unlike Delta, you're absolutely right.
Well,
Delta would never do that.
Now here's the other thing, and again, I'm blowing this whole segment. I'm so sorry, but I'm up all night thinking about this. Has anybody actually driven to Atlanta Airport and parked in the parking deck lately?
Yes.
Is it dangerous? Is it safe? Are there places to park?
If you have construction, like two things. They have it's called Peachy Parking.
Yeah, Peachy.
The parking right. Yeah,
you've done that before. That's the best thing to do. That's what I do when I have to drive down there.
Yeah. Except I did it the last time. No, I did it the last time. It was impossible to try to find it. It was just going through these back to get through it. It was impossible. No, I know. I did GPS anyway, so I finally got there, and then I paid for a reserved spot so I could lock my car and keep my keys. I get in there, and the guy says, "Well, we're overbooked, so we're going to have to take your keys, and we'll drive it around for 5 days for you." I said, "Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that with stuff in my car that I was going to lock up securely, that all of a sudden my car is going to be open for 5 days and God knows who's going to have the key?" And I had to do it. What was I going to do? Try to find another place to park?
Well, they shouldn't overbook.
So I don't trust them.
They should have given you money off if they've overbooked.
Yeah,
that's their problem.
Yeah, and then when I came back, they said, "Well, you don't have a certain form with you." So, and then it took me like an hour to check out because I didn't have some form that the guy never gave me. I mean, it was a nightmare. It was a freaking nightmare. But now I'll probably have to do it again because I don't know if it's safe to park at the airport. Someone can steal my car. Is it even safe? I mean, I don't know.
What day are you leaving?
I'm leaving Atlanta on Saturday. I'm leaving Denver on a Wednesday.
What? No, give me the date.
The date that I'm leaving Atlanta?
Yeah.
27th.
27th. You're coming back when?
September.
Okay,
should we
please,
be
if someone out
one?
there with time on their hands, go on Kayak, one of these others, and see how much a plane ticket would cost for those dates. And see how much
first class, nonstop.
First class, nonstop, Atlanta to Denver.
Denver, and back, yeah.
Somebody out there has got nothing better to do right now.
Well, someone I trust said, "No, wait a minute. Those other sites, go right to Delta because at least you're getting it. With those other sites, you may be getting like tax things you don't understand, and you have to sign up for insurance."
Telling you that?
No, I don't know. I'm just telling. I don't know anything. I don't know anything, and I don't know whether it's safe or trustworthy. And if they've closed all the parking spots because I think they're doing all construction down there now. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. 5:13. Hey, we got sports. Give me a break.
I'm not worried.
Extra 106.3 personalities aren't afraid to tell it like it is.
Without Donald Trump, nothing that's going on would be happening right now. Donald Trump is changing the world.
And you'll never hear us spew that violent rhetoric from the left. So don't be afraid to tell it like it is. Because we're happy to have you as part of the Extra community.
I particularly like Donald Trump's actions in getting illegal aliens the hell out of this country.
Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Well, I almost needed David Van Sant today, Van Sant Law, actually over the weekend, because honest to God, I almost got hit again on my chopper. I'm telling you. Anyway, everything was fine, turned out fine, but, David Van Sant is a guy who used to work for the insurance company, so if you have an insurance company issue on who did what with when or whatever, you don't want to argue with the insurance company's lawyers, but David Van Sant does, because not only did he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows all the stuff there, all the charts and graphs and tables that they do too, and he's got all that stuff. But David is also a guy who puts a fear of the Lord into him, because he's on the top 100 trial attorneys list in Georgia, and he's on, this is big time Charlie, the super lawyers list. He's been on that for years and years and years. If it's a car or truck accident or something involving a contract or something happened and you didn't get what you deserve, he is a personal injury lawyer, and he's a good one, because they shudder when he gets on the phone. Tell him the Kimmer sent you. If you're number one, If you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. Here's the number, 855-GA-INJURY. Online, VanSantLaw.com.
Thinking about going electric? Now's the time to make your move. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, limited time incentives on select Ford EVs are available now, but only through September 30th, 2025.
That means if you've had your eye on an electric vehicle, this could be your last chance to save thousands of dollars. Whether it's the all-electric F-150 Lightning, the head-turning Mustang Mach-E, or something in between, now's the time to plug in and move forward.
Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs makes the switch easy with expert guidance, flexible financing, and a friendly team ready to help you every step of the way.
Don't wait. Visit them just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road or head to JimEllisFord.com to learn more. But hurry, these savings disappear after September 30th.
Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you can always expect the best.
Here today with Evan Ward of Atlas Retirement. And Evan, I recently read an article that said 65% of those surveyed, they're more worried about running out of money in retirement than they are of death itself. So let's talk about some of the ways you can help our listeners replace that paycheck they've relied on for all these years in their working lives.
Well, it makes sense that they'd be scared of that, because what do you do if you run out of money in retirement? You're going to go back to work? Who's hiring folks that are retired, and physically and mentally, you're going to be able to do that? And isn't the whole point of having a financial advisor so that you never have to worry about that again? So one of the ways that we do that is we build a fully comprehensive income plan so that we know there's money coming in every month that'll cover your bills, give you the quality of life that you're looking for, no matter what the market's doing, no matter how long you live. In some cases, regardless of what happens to you health-wise. So we can put plans in place to eliminate or at least mitigate all of those kind of risks every single person deals with in retirement.
I know a lot of our parents relied on pensions, but let's be honest, Evan, the pension is becoming a thing of the past, but there are ways for folks to create their own personal pensions, aren't there?
Yeah, so I'm a big proponent of do-it-yourself pension, but when we do the pension ourselves, the one negative with a pension is all the value in the pension goes away once you turn on the actual income. With the plans that we build with the do-it-yourself pensions, you maintain that asset, or more specifically, your surviving spouse, your kids. And so you live forever. You get a ton of paychecks, and whatever's left over goes to the wife and kids, surviving spouse, beneficiaries, whoever that might be.
Call Atlas Retirement for a complimentary review of your savings and investments today. Call 678-736-7799. Again, that's 678-736-7799. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape, and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Modular and offsite construction is booming. If you're an architect, building engineer, supplier, developer, or contractor, you can't miss the Offsite Construction Summit, returning to the International Convention Center in Atlanta on August 19th. With the rising cost of traditional building, modular and offsite construction is changing the way companies build housing, retail, healthcare, restaurants, and more. So don't miss the Offsite Construction Summit on August 19th. This is your opportunity to create new business and learn from the industry's best. Register today at offsiteconstructionnetwork.com. That's offsiteconstructionnetwork.com.
Here we go. 1896. Harvey Hubble got a patent for the electric light bulb socket. That thing with a handy pull chain. I miss those. And now it's sponsored by RBM of Atlanta. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
They always break.
No, I used to love the little clicky thing, and now they have the little, you twist them. No, I like the little chains. I used to love those little chains.
got one that all you do is touch it. All you do is touch it.
Oh, yeah, true. Oh, yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Braves have a much-deserved day off after taking 4 out of 5 from the Marlins in Truist Park over the weekend. 7-1 the score yesterday as Marcell Ozuna blasted a 3-run homer. The Big Bear had 4 dingers in this series, and here's how it sounded.
Chance to drive in a run right here on the 2-2 pitch on the way to Ozuna.
Swung onto the fly ball, hit well, back to the wall. This one flies away. 3-run home run. And it's 6-1 Braves as Ozuna met that with extreme brutality.
Ben Ingram, sister station 6A, The Fan. Drake Baldwin helped his cause for winning the NL Rookie of the Year with 10 RBIs against Miami. Baldwin's 10 ribbies, the most by a Braves rookie in a single series since the franchise moved to Atlanta in 1966.
Wow.
How about that?
Holy
he was
mackerel.
7 for 17. Joey Wentz improves to 3-3, going 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, and 1 run. Jen Powell became the first woman ever to umpire a Major League game. She was behind the plate yesterday. A decent job, except maybe her first pitch. Well, it was inside by about 6 inches. She called a strike.
Yeah, well,
a little nervous there.
6 inches, either way, could probably.
Well, it's hard to tell.
When you're moving that fast,
Poor bastard still measuring
staring her in
inches.
the eye or anything, Right there in
Jen
front of her.
called 92.7% of balls and strikes accurately during Sunday's series finale. She had 140 of the 151 taken pitches accurate according to ump scorecards. The umpire average for this season is 94.2, so she was slightly below the average, but it was her first game.
Yeah.
Powell's called ball accuracy, whatever that is, was 95%, with 104 balls called inaccurately. The average is 97%, so once again, she was about 2 points below that. Her called strike accuracy, 88%. 6 of 47 strikes were not called correctly. The average is 88%, so she was right on the nose with that one.
Okay.
So on Saturday, Jurickson Profar, as Kimmer calls him Profer, made one of the most spectacular catches you will ever see. Here's the call.
1-2 and a deep fly ball to left field. Profar going to go back to the wall, and he will leap. Did he just catch that? Unbelievable! Jackson Profar with a magic trick at the top of the left field wall to rob Augustine Ramirez.
And Ingram again. I don't know if that was Joe with them or not, but whoever's there excited. Profar's catch named the play of the week.
Yeah, at least.
Good news there.
At least.
Now, it's not as good as that Denzel kid did out in Oakland earlier this year. He went over a taller wall in center field, did almost the same type of catch. So that's still number one this year. But I think Profar's number two.
At least, I would think,
Braves in Flushing to face the Mets starting tomorrow night. The Mets are struggling. They are really going down. In fact, the Braves pulled within 6 games of Miami in the East. The Mets are in second place, now 5.5 games behind Philly. Both the Mets and Yankees are sinking. Yeah. Former Braves and UGA lefty Alex Wood has retired after 12 seasons for the Bravos, Dodgers, Giants, Athletics, and Reds. Alex, an All-Star, won a World Series back in 2020. Sports writer John Heyman has a stat for those who say batting average doesn't matter anymore. The top 5 teams for batting average are in first place in their division.
Yeah. When they show that stat once in a while, and you can say, wow, I mean, that as a team, if you could do that as a team,
like people look at OPS and F4 a lot now, more than batting average, but I always like batting average myself. Bad news for a Hall of Famer, though. Yankees great closer Mariano Rivera tore one of his Achilles tendons during their old-timers game.
Old-timer, the old farts, poor bastard. Yeah, that's got to hurt, too.
And a lot of people talking about Johnny Damon. He's put on a little weight, Johnny has. Had to find 2 jerseys to sew them together, I think, to put on.
Good life from lately, I guess, probably.
But I'll always remember him for hitting that grand slam in the Game 7 of the LCS that pretty much sucked the Yankees fans' hearts right there.
Yeah, what a guy.
The first Associated Press preseason football poll of the year is out. Guess where Georgia is?
Number 2, I'll bet you.
No.
Really? Lower? Texas, I'll bet Texas number 1. 4th?
No, lower than 4.
Oh my gosh, really? Because we got a new quarterback. I guess they're going iffy on him, huh?
I hope
5
quarterback. 5.
Are they?
Georgia is 5 right now. Yeah. Texas is number 1. Penn State 2. Then Ohio State and LSU. Notre Dame at number 6. Then Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami round out the top 10. After that, South Carolina at 13. Florida 15. Oklahoma 18. Texas A&M 19. Ole Miss 21st. Tennessee 24th. And Boise State at number 25. So 10 of the top 25 are Southeastern Conference.
Wow.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
Of the past 21 preseason AP top 21 number ones, 19 of those 21 failed to win the national title. So it's
really? That's pretty interesting. So they're not really very good at predicting what's going to. Well, how could you be? You got new quarterbacks, new
things
teams.
happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
That's all different. This is all silly.
And Texas always blows a game every year, at least once.
I don't know this Arch Manning guy. I really can't wait. I can't wait to see what that's about. Just because of my.
He should have been playing over Quinn Ewers. I think as we're finding out in the preseason for the Dolphins. He was pretty pitiful. By the way, Vanderbilt is the only power conference team that has never been ranked in the AP preseason top 25.
Huh.
Poor Vandy.
Yeah.
ESPN and Fox, the primary media rights holders for all major conferences, have signed an agreement that will allow fans to purchase a subscription bundle and gain access to both platforms. The cost for the combined service will be how much?
Oh, at least $14.99 a month. I'm getting probably
higher.
$17.13.
Higher.
$29.99.
Higher.
How about $7,000 a week to listen?
$39.99 per month.
Wow. $40 a month.
It'll be available. All subscribers beginning October 2nd.
And this is
ESPN
now
Fox,
for ESPN and Fox?
and Fox. So this is like the Soviet Union and the Red Chinese getting together. This is not good. They carry the great majority of college football games, over 80%. I have no idea what this means for those of us who just want to turn the damn TV on this fall and watch a damn game. I have no idea what this will do.
Well, it shouldn't affect it, right? You should be able to get both Fox and ESPN.
If you already have Fox and ESPN, you might be starting paying a little more for whoever you pay to, your cable company or whatever.
God.
I don't know.
I just
$500 now a month you're going to have for your cable? Is that what's going to be?
Apparently. Jeez.
Falcons dropped their first preseason game at home to the Lions 17-10. Next up, the Titans in Mercedes-Benz Stadium this Friday night. They're scrimmaging with them this week. The Detroit game stopped early after Lions safety Maurice Norris suffered a severe injury. He was taken to Grady Hospital, the poor bastard. He's back with the team, though, and doing well, despite all the great efforts of Grady.
Well, no, now let's
kill him. Grady is
wonderful.
where you go for trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
And burns.
Exactly.
If you're shot or knifed, you want to go to Grady.
Yeah, they're the
and
best.
as soon as they stitch you up, you say, please take me to Piedmont or Emory or Northside or St. Joseph's or anywhere. The dock in the box, just anywhere. All right. Someone who has spent the night in those the small halls of Grady Hospital, that is not a place you want to stay for very long. Nearly the entire fourth quarter of the game Friday night was not played. Norris was being cared for, and both teams decided it was not right to continue. They made the good call.
The little prayer circle and held hands and wished him well. So there you go.
The Falcons signed safety Ronnie Harrison and center Jake Hansen. They also released offensive lineman Michael Gonzalez and placed safety Graylin Arnold on the reserve injured list. Random sports fact. The infamous 10-cent beer night at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium, June 4th, 1974. There were 60,000 Genesee beers sold. 50 cops were called there, 19 streakers, 7 emergency room injuries, 9 arrests, 2 moonings, and 1 sports writer punched in the jaw. Which is nowhere near enough if you ever met one of these guys.
Mistake by the lake.
Which begs the musical question.
Yes.
Quickly.
Yeah.
How much money do you have to sell if you get 60,000 beers at 10 cents apiece? How much money do you get?
$6,000.
Very good, sir. $6,000.
Thank you.
Winner.
Thank you.
That's right. Today in sports history, August 11, 1914. Let me take you there. Boston Braves pitcher Lefty Tyler, which I think we can assume pretty much where he threw from, the left or the right.
I would think so, yeah.
Begins a string of 23 shutout innings in one game.
One game?
But Red Ames of the Reds matched him, a 13-inning 0-0 tie.
Holy
He had started his streak earlier, but both went 13 innings in that game and basically gave up no runs. Yeah.
Wow.
1961, Warren Spahn of the Milwaukee Braves.
Brewers, or Braves, Milwaukee Braves
beat the Cubs 2-1, his 300th career win. And in 1968, Satchel Paige, 62 years old, they thought, he needed 158 days on a major league payroll to qualify for a pension. Did the Dodgers sign him, known for signing Jackie Robinson?
Of course, to give him his break, to make sure he was part of the... Oh, no.
Did one of those racial nirvanas of New York City or Chicago or Detroit or Philadelphia, Boston, did they sign him to give him that?
Probably to make sure he could get part of the...
No!
They know. Oh, no.
Satchel Paige in 1968 was signed by the Atlanta Braves.
Well, there you are. God
he will
bless
not pitch a regular season game. He became a coach. He stays for another year. It was the Atlanta Braves that signed Satchel Paige in order to give him his pension.
Well, wait a minute. We're a bunch of racists and white supremacy segregationists down here. We wanted to make sure no black people could ever vote again. That's why they took away the All-Star game. What the hell?
That's right,
We're not supposed to be helping black people. God.
I'm telling you.
By the way, two quick things. And my off-and-on viewing of the Braves over the weekend, I was watching a Braves game when Marcell Ozuna stepped up to the plate. Home run. The inning's over. I go watch other stuff. I check back with the Braves. Marcell Ozuna's coming back to the plate a second time. Home run. I mean, what can I tell you?
And then what you do?
Then I rode my chopper and almost got killed. 531. Kimmer Pete and the flounder.
Hell of a way to go out.
Yeah,
the Braves win. At least you saw the Braves win one more time.
The Braves win, baby. And then it's over.
Attention Patriots, get ready for a clash of conservative titans. Shannon Burke from Florida Man Radio joins the Kimmer Show on Extra 106.3, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Two fearless voices, unfiltered, unapologetic, taking on the left's lies, exposing the swamp, and defending truth, liberty, and America first. Don't miss Shannon Burke and the Kimmer, Thursdays at 5, only on Extra 106.3, Conservative Radio, the way it ought to be.
Maybe this weather's telling you how your house is doing on the outside, like maybe window leaks or something like that. And by the way, New House, Old House, Peach State Windows is a company. I've known Jeff and his wife, worked with them 25 years ago. And they have all the best windows, the double hung vinyl things, and the top energy stuff. But more than that, whether you need a design for a brand new house or an older house, they do exactly what you need. Same thing for the siding, too. I like the hardy plank, but they have vendors all over the country get you the stuff that's greatest for your home and what you're looking for at a great price, too. Look them up, 770-485-8011, peachstatewindows.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Steel. Summer's heating up, and so should your lawn game. Turn your yard into a summer paradise with powerful, reliable tools from Steel at Howard Brothers. Whether it's cutting, trimming, or edging, Steel's top quality equipment is built to perform and made to last. Let the trusted team at Howard Brothers help you tackle your to-do list and make your yard the envy of the neighborhood this summer. Find one near you at howardbrothers.com. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Steel and Howard Brothers.
Advance and protect. What is that in retirement planning? Well, Coach Pete is here to explain advance and protect.
What's the advance and protect strategy? Well, it's a way for you to share and participate in the gains of the market. Not all the gains, by the way. You have to trade. The trade-off is you're not going to get all the gains, but here's what you're trading it off for. You're not getting any of the losses. Therefore, you really are advancing and protecting. Or if the market's down for 3 or 4 years, you're protecting and protecting and protecting. And when it decides to go back up, you're advancing. So if you're protected when down markets and going up in up markets, you really can't lose. And then you turn that lump sum you have into a lifetime income you can never outlive, and now you're in control of your life all the way through.
A comprehensive review with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler, can show you how to get in control of your retirement. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. Craig Chandler, Chandler Wealth Management, 800-419-6164.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover
Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Don't miss out as your Atlanta Braves face the White Sox and Mets August 18th through the 24th. Fans can look forward to 3 giveaways during the series, including the Spencer Strider vinyl record giveaway on August 19th, featuring music from some of Spencer's favorite bands, plus a post-game performance at the Battery Atlanta Green, hosted by Spencer. And on Friday the 22nd, join us for a special alumni night presented by your local Ford dealer to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the 95 World Series Championship. Check out the pre-game alumni parade down Battery Avenue, featuring fan favorites like Greg Maddux, Fred McGriff, Javi Lopez, and more. And then receive a 95 World Series replica ring presented by Coke. Then we keep the fun rolling on Saturday with the first annual hunting and fishing night, including some fun activities courtesy of the Georgia Department of Natural Resources in the Battery Atlanta, and a camo rope hat giveaway presented by Realtree. Get your tickets at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Hey, how you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Rick coming up. Phone call. Stand by, sir. Meanwhile, the Beatles in 1964, they went into the studio recording their 4th album, Beatles for Sale, wasn't yet titled. The album marked a departure from the upbeat tone that had characterized the Beatles' earlier work, partly because they were exhausted after a series of tours that did establish them as a worldwide phenomenon in 1964. Beatles for Sale wasn't even available in America until 1987, 23 years later, when the Beatles catalog was standardized for release on CD. And by the way, a quick Beatles history note: in 1966, John Lennon on this day had to apologize for his statements claiming the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. What he said was, in an apology, I'm sorry I said it. Really, I never meant it as a lousy anti-religious thing. If I had said television's more popular than Jesus, I might have gotten away with it. Originally, I was just pointing out the fact, in reference to England, that we meant more to kids than Jesus did, or religion at that time to kids. I wasn't knocking it or putting it down. I was just saying it like a fact. I'm not saying we're better or greater or comparing us with Jesus Christ as a person or God or as a thing or whatever it is, you know. I just said what I said, and it was wrong or taken wrong, and now it's all this. And Mark David Chapman would cite Lennon's comments on Jesus as one of the reasons he killed John Lennon. Well, so anyway, but that's for the record. All right, to the phones. Rick, you're on the radio. Rick, how's it going? Welcome aboard, sir.
Hey, this is incredible. That was a great story, and I hate to say it, but I agree with John Lennon. But anyway, I wanted to say this.
Yes.
I share a birthday with Flounder.
Oh, no kidding.
I don't know if he's...
last Friday, Saturday.
Thursday.
August 7th. Happy belated birthday, Rick.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I don't know if you guys know who Scott Jennings is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We play him a lot. He's the Republican conservative common sense guy on the CNN panels all the time. I love this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm calling about is the takeover by Trump of Washington, D.C., which I think is totally valid. They had a panel discussion with Scott Jennings. I know nobody watches CNN. I'm like probably the only one because I'm retired from CNN, so I watch it. But he said, I mean, they just grilled him and said, it is just bad. The president cannot take over Washington, D.C., blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And Scott Jennings said, well, let's say this. When I want to go get in my car and drive home, security has to walk me out.
Well, boom.
From CNN.
Yeah.
From CNN. So let me just say this.
How did they like that? How did they react to that comment, I wonder?
Oh my God. They just said, that doesn't mean anything. Well, let me tell you something. They sent a whole crew of us from Atlanta, from CNN, up to Washington, D.C. in 2016 to cover the election that was going to anoint Hillary Clinton as the next president, the first female, of course, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Of course, that didn't happen. But they, after the election was over and it was decided, we were just going to, as a group, of course, they wouldn't let us get a hotel room right around CNN because there were too many homeless encampments all around there, like in Union Station where the subway is. There were homeless people right there next to CNN. They would not let us stay at hotels near there. We had to stay north of there at the Hilton Garden Inn. That's, I think, where we stayed.
Yeah.
All right. They would not let us walk these 4 blocks to get to that at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because they said it was too dangerous.
Yeah, there you go. I listen, Rick, I really appreciate it. Again, these things, we're telling true stories. Thanks, Fran, for calling. They call us conspiracy theorists and everything else. Now, Pete just said this, lives at TikTok, do we have the sound of this girl? There's an ABC anchor woman. It's a blonde woman. I don't see her name. It's not the one we normally think of. I don't know the girl's who she is. But she actually apparently broke from her left-wing script. And I don't know, is there sound available to this? Or
Give me 1 second, I'll get it.
Okay. Again, I don't have her name. It's an ABC anchor woman. I guess this is just recently. And she was talking about how dangerous it is in Washington, D.C., where they all work. And the libs at I love the libs at TikTok, man. They don't miss much. When somebody makes a point that we need to hear, like this one, this ABC anchor woman, now Flounder's got the audio. Here you go. Listen to this.
Numbers. And yeah, usually that's how you play devil's advocate, is you talk about, stats say crime is down. However, I can tell you firsthand here in downtown D.C. where we work, right here around our bureau, just in the past 6 months, there were 2 people shot. One person died literally 2 blocks down here from the Bureau. It was within the last 2 years that I actually was jumped walking just 2 blocks down from here. And then just this morning, one of my coworkers said her car was stolen a block away from the Bureau. So we can talk about the numbers going down, but crime is happening every single day because we're all experiencing it firsthand while working and living down here.
Yeah, duh. See, that's an ABC anchor woman. And by the way, also, apparently the D.C. police chief commander has been suspended, accused of changing crime statistics. And Pete was just talking about that. This is what they do. And I remember the scandal a couple of years ago that the FBI finally had to admit that when they were doing the yearly FBI statistics, they mentioned that many of the districts in New York City and Chicago and San Francisco did not supply the figures to put into the final statistics. And the reason was because they were bad and they would make it look bad. And so they just cheated. They faked it. I mean, my God. Anyway, a couple quick leftover things here. Pete Davis in sports. Atlanta connection, too. Pablo Sandoval, Kung Fu Panda, is 39 today. Little chubby little third baseman there for a while. Is he still playing? He's not still playing, is he?
He's minor league somewhere around New York, I believe.
I remember him trying to stay in baseball, and I don't know if he ever lost any weight, but anyway, Pablo Sandoval is 39. And Melky Cabrera is 41.
What a waste of space that guy was.
Is 41 today.
Jeez, don't bring back Melky Cabrera.
I'm sorry.
Memories.
Well, it was on here. I wanted to give things.
Please.
It's 5:45. Give repeat and flounder. We're not done yet. Now look out.
Wherever you are in Georgia, you can stream Extra 106.3 and crystal clear digital with the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Get Extra's live on-air stream in real time, or go back and listen to all your favorite shows, Neil Bortz, or original podcasts, no matter where you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Hey, it's Front Office Los for True Prep. Thinking about buying a firearm for home defense or personal safety, but don't know where to start? Start with True Prep. We're a family-owned store focused on education, safety, and community. Our Firearm Fundamentals for First-Time Buyers workshop has been so popular, we've added a new session on August 24th to meet the demand. Learn about the purchasing process, gun safety, selecting the right gun, and more. Visit TruePrep.com. That's TRUPrep.com to sign up today.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
Hey, it's Flounder here. And this month at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we're celebrating love with a full month dedicated to the trend-setting, award-winning designs of Gnome Carver and Crown Ring, two of the most iconic names in bridal jewelry. Whether you're shopping for an engagement ring or wedding bands, we've got the largest selection in Atlanta. Special offers all month long, and every piece is backed by our low price guarantee. Even on Gnome Carter's latest Luna collection featuring a patented pillow comfort interior. And here's something you don't want to miss. Wedding Band Weekend is happening August 15th through 17th for 3 days only. Buy one wedding band, get one half off on all wedding bands in the store. It's the perfect time to find your forever rings. Come see us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, or on Fisher Crossings Drive, Sharpsburg. And you can always shop online at SolomonBrothers.com and click Book Appointment for your private consultation with one of our expert jewelers.
Summer is here, and it's time to enjoy your outdoor oasis as a family. Don't know where to begin? At Stovall & Company, we have everything you need to make your landscaping dreams come true. From premium mulch and topsoil to a wide variety of plants, trees, shrubs, and annuals, Stovall has it all. Check us out at StovallInc.com.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation supports America's greatest heroes, U.S. service members and first responders who die or catastrophically injured in the line of duty. Plus, the foundation helps homeless veterans. The heroes that Tunnel to Towers supports are heroes that we owe a debt of gratitude to. The foundation's Gold Star, Fallen First Responder, Smart Home, Homeless Veterans programs, all of these honor the sacrifices made for us by the men and women who risk their lives and bodies in our country and our community service. The Foundation's Never Forget program engaged people in 9/11 remembrances across America with over 80 runs, walks, climbs, and dozens of golf outings every year. The Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute helps educate children in kindergarten through 12th grade about America's darkest day while helping our nation keep its vow to never forget. Help support Tunnel to Towers and its programs and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifice of our country's greatest heroes. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. T2T.org.
The king. I had this record. Da, da, da. I had this as a 45 back in the day. 1956, Elvis Presley's double-sided hit, Don't Be Cruel and Hound Dog came out. The single went to number 1 in America, stayed there for 11 weeks. And that record would not be broken from 1956 until 1992. When Boys to Men hit End of the Road. 11 weeks at number 1 in the American chart, stayed there, a record that wasn't broken until 1992. That's incredible. Let's see. On this day in history, it was 1984. President Ronald Reagan is testing his microphone before a scheduled radio address. While warming up, said this.
My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, they were having a pretty good time there with that mic check. Although the aides laughed, attendants laughed, everybody was thinking, but the Democratic opposition leaders were fearful of the hard-line posturing Reagan had been displaying already since he took office in 1981. A lot of people dismissed it. It came a time of heightened tensions between America and Russia. They thought, with nothing else, it's at least in poor taste. Many analysts view Reagan's get-tough policies as responsible for scaring the Russians and spending more on their military. A fact that led to the collapse of the Russian economy, though, and by extension, the country's communist political system. So in many ways, yeah, it did. Ronald Reagan, the former actor, of course, known for bombing Russia joke, considered by America embarrassing political gaffe. Then he remembers saying when he went to University of California at Berkeley, if there has to be a bloodbath, then let's get it over with. Let's see. Comparing politics and prostitution, a recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. A recovery is when Jimmy Carter loses his. And then he got his sense of humor when he told his wife Nancy when she arrived at the hospital when he got shot, "Honey, I forgot to duck." Anyway, so there you go, Ronald Reagan on this day in history. Geez, I got so many things. Pete, by the way, do you guys care about this? Well, two things. In sports, I don't know whether you heard about this. In Japan, 2 boxers on the same card on the same day, a 28-year-old guy and another 28-year-old guy, were both beaten severely on the same card, both knocked out, and both died.
What?
They're both dead. One guy completed a 12-round draw against Yamamoto something or other junior lightweight bout. Emergency brain surgery for a hematoma, then died. Hirosako, somebody 28-year-olds, died the same injury during a knockout loss in the lightweight bout. Both dead. Boxing in Japan. Light, not the heavyweights, the lighter divisions. And by the way, the lighter divisions are the ones who hit you fast and a lot and often. And so, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just for the record. And speaking of sports, Flounder, let's do this. Cut number 4 here, sir. A lot of concerns in the ladies' sporting world now with a number of fans having fun with that new prank of throwing handheld cylindrical love toys onto the basketball court. And actor Michael Rappaport, for one, says it's no laughing matter. Flounder, if you will. So number 4.
This is what we're doing now. We're throwing dildos at women during WNBA games. You ever been hit in the head with a dildo? Huh? No. It hurts. I have. No. I was hit in the head with a dildo. It was 19. Matter of fact, I didn't want to go into the story. It's a little embarrassing, but I can tell you, when I got hit in the head with a dildo, it hurt. Okay? It hurt. Those things sting. It's not funny. It's not funny to be throwing. You're going to hurt one of these. You want to hurt Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers? You want to hit her in the head with a dildo? Is that when it's going to stop? When someone gets knocked out with a dildo in Madison Square Garden while they're shooting a 3-point shot? Cut it out, okay? If you've never been hit in the head with a dildo, you might think it's funny. I have been hit in the head with a dildo, and it ain't funny, and it hurts. Cut it out.
Man, again, for an actor, he's...
I can hear the story behind that one.
Yeah, I would myself. And by the way, we began the show today, and now as we get into a close, in case you hadn't heard, some sad news, sad news today that I can't talk. I'm just my brain
you're rushing. There's no reason to rush.
There's no reason to rush.
Yeah,
I should remember that. Bobby Whitlock, the co-founder of Derek. In fact, we should play Slow Talkers Society.
Oh, no. No.
The Bob and Ray old radio bit of the Slow Talkers Association of America. One of the funniest little 2-minute things I've ever heard. And nobody will play.
That lasts 15 minutes.
I know. But it's honest to God, if you've never heard it, Google Bob and Ray Slow Talkers. And I promise you, if you don't think it's funny, then I will be embarrassed. Bobby Whitlock, the co-founder of Derek and the Dominoes, has passed away at the age of 77, a very short bout with cancer. And it says here the legendary rock icon, whose fingerprints are all over 3 of rock's most celebrated albums, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, All Things Must Pass, and Exile on Main Street, surrounded by loved ones when he passed away. He was a teenager, worked with Sam and Dave, Booker T and the MGs, was the first white artist signed to Storied Stax Records. Big break came in '69. He joined Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, met Eric Clapton and George Harrison, who worked with Friends group on the road, led to contributing to Harrison's monumental 1970 album All Things Must Pass, to the formation of Derek and the Dominoes. They recorded Layla and other love songs. The record become the cornerstone of the rock industry, and he wrote half the album's tracks. Bobby Whitlock passed away at the age of 77, co-founder of Derek and the Dominoes. There's a bride-to-be made a little comment, got in some trouble on one of those Rip It or Reddits or whatever they call. A bride and groom decided to send out a "You'll Be Missed" card for people who never RSVP'd. And so they don't want them showing up on the wedding day expecting to get a seat. They sent out a card saying, "We're so sorry you can't make it. You're receiving this to let you know that your name will not be among those attending the wedding, either because you declined the invitation or you did not RSVP on time. Either way, you'll be missed." And then they said, if you still want to send the couple a gift, there's still time. And then they said the link to their wedding gift registry. And the bride said, it's a medieval design because we're having a Lord of the Rings themed wedding. So I'm sending this to people who didn't RSVP. Should I word it differently or add anything? It feels pretty empty to me, but I added the gifts part because I was trying to fill the space. And we have a lot of people who, couldn't be there, but we want them, I just don't want them to think they can show up and expect a spot. My God. But you can still send a gift. Holy smokes. Anyway. Oh, mercy. Boys, pretty good Monday. Braves off today, and then they're gone for like 6 days. 2 road trips.
They're with the Mets for a few, yeah.
Well, maybe Mets are looking bad. Maybe we'll get a couple of more wins on the road. That'd be nice.
Spoilers.
Anyway, boys, another Flounder's Funny before we adios on our Mondays.
Oh, why not? Here we go.
Got one more coming up.
I think black people talk in movie theaters. So do white people. It's just different. Black people are like, "Watch out, he's finna get you." White people are like, "There's some black people in here." Yes, it's an emergency. I love black people. Black people get a bad rap. Black people are like taxes. It's how they're raised. When you're dealing with a woman, you gotta choose your words carefully. Like one time my ex-wife was like, "You don't like my cooking." I was like, "I'm sorry you perceive it that way. I didn't mean to vomit.
Who's that, Flounder?
It's Mr. Quinn Dale.
Oh, mercy. By the way, there was a little tip together. The Morning Boys were all over the story, and I really didn't care one or another because I don't watch much. The UFC has now changed and has now signed a trillion contract with Paramount and no longer on ESPN. The UFC fighting guys.
Yeah. I don't watch it.
I'll see a highlight once in a while, but I can't take that. Especially the women fighters, I can't watch them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, blood.
That's just wrong. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, boys, have a great night. Tomorrow we do it all over again. In the meantime, Christine, sing me home, baby. I gotta go. You're killing me. Well, look out, Herb and a Herb. Stand by.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.